Ooh, yeah, that's hot.
It's warm.
I don't know where to put it.
Who's going to run door? You think he needs to go out?
No, Justin's let him out already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the way the lights are?
He gets like that. Okay.
Do you want to go with me? Come on.
Let me do this.
Are you live now?
Hmm?
Are you live?
Man, I look really, really tired.
I'm tired of this
Super tired. What? Are you laughing at me?
No. Showing me.
Oh.
You're good.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
What you need?
The air is like on me, but I need it on me somehow without it blowing in my face.
Do you want it over here?
Yeah, well, you need it too. Why don't you sit here?
No, I don't need it because
Okay.
I was getting the chills.
Okay, guys, just bear with me. I'm trying to make myself look nuts, so I don't know, tired maybe?
I'll move it here.
Just a little bit. Bear with me. I look really tired, because I am. Oh my god, I have some serious bags under my eyes. Yvonne. I have
You're
some
tired.
serious bags under my eyes.
You need some sleep. Good old-fashioned sleep.
I did take an hour nap. That's all I got in. Okay, well, that's the best it's gonna do. Ladies and genties. That's it. That's it, ladies and genties. Okay, seriously, Yvonne, I need your help. This fan's driving me cray. I want it on me, but it's like on me.
It's on you.
So I'll be looking down mostly, guys, because the camera for the show is down here.
Okay.
So, whew, it is hot in here. Very hot.
So now let over here.
Yeah, right there.
Just use this
Yeah,
one?
you just plug it in there. Oh, there's David. It is the lighting. I look horrid. Okay, can you turn up? Oh wait, yeah, just maybe one more.
Here?
Yeah. Okay, maybe, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Do you think that's too loud? That's good. Aren't you gonna be hot? You should be over here with me.
You want me to sit up here with you?
I feel like you're gonna be too hot.
You think?
I don't know. If you get too hot, you can.
I'll move.
Okay, so down one. Cause look, I look like I'm like.
I'll move it down.
Look, I look like I'm on the beach somewhere. There you go. Look, I look like I'm on the beach.
The windblown look. It's the windblown look. I gotta turn this down too so it's not.
Hello from Sydney, Australia. Oh, thanks for my glass. I was like, how'd they get here? Okay, so we will be picking your questions, guys, out of the bowl. And your questions are on the paperwork. I do have a sweater on. I don't feel comfortable without a sweater on, so you guys are just gonna have to deal with that. Okay, well, there we go. Maybe I should turn this light down. Ooh. Got my crystals. Rose quartz. Carnelian. Fluorite.
You have them all?
I have them all. Man, it's been a while since I've done the show. I almost forgot how to do it.
Oh, the process.
My head won't stop pounding.
Has it gone away from the time you left the shop? Has it lessened any?
Mm-mm. It's actually heightened since I got home. It might be the rain, but...
Yeah, maybe the weather that we had.
Oh no, we only have air conditioner up in the upstairs, Rebecca.
But
So
it's cool outside. Let me open up that window.
I wait till after the show, because if we get like a car back or like kids yelling. Okay. I need to like mix these. All right, we got 3 minutes till my producer chimes in. Someone said hi to you, Yvonne.
Hi.
I think it's the Australian lady. There's a fly in here. It's buzzing around.
What's this?
Yeah, everybody's gonna be having migraines, dizzy spells, tired, ringing in the ear, grumpiness.
And we've been all feeling it.
Yeah, it's the retrograde. I can't wait till it's over with. And then we'll go right back into another one. Woo!
Okay.
Like a roller coaster.
At least we know that's what it is.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. I miss you.
I missed you too. I'm glad you're back.
I know.
I can tell you're ready to do a rocking show. This is such great moment in our history here. Now, I'm hearing a little bit of noise in the background. Is that a fan or something?
Yeah,
Might want to turn that off.
Yep, we're
That's
gonna do that
definitely
now.
getting picked up. Oh, I'm having trouble hearing you.
How about that?
I'm still hearing something.
No, that's not the fan then.
I wonder what that is.
I don't know. That's not on my end.
No, well, we haven't had this problem with anybody else. It's some kind of like shh.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's just we don't have anything going. Like this is it. Just the computer and
I can hear it.
All right. Well, let me hang up on you and
Okay.
call you right back.
Okay.
It's like static.
No, see, it stopped when he. I know.
Hung up.
Yeah.
It's his connection.
Yeah. That's weird. I've never had that problem. And for a second, I was like, I don't think it's the fan. 'Cause that's awfully loud.
That was a whole different complete sound.
Yeah. Well, it's 8 o'clock now, so hopefully he calls right back. Okay, we good?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
Holy smoke. And I did a echo test right before I called just to verify, and everything is good. So, oops, let me take that 0 time left before the show, and let me do a quick white balance on you. Hold on there. Push that button right there. All right. I think everything looks good. Are you ready? That's
am.
all I got to know from you.
I am.
All right. All right. And how long before our first caller?
We're gonna do answers and questions. I got the bowl of questions today.
Oh, okay. That sounds good to me. All right. Well, let's push this button right here. I'm glad you're back. Here we go.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network. And watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Spirit Talk Live with the Divine Medium, Christina Watts. Live from the DivineMedium.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 88.
That camera up just a little bit. Top of your head is being cut off just a little bit. A little bit more. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, a little bit more. There you go.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Good. Stay right there. That looks great. All right.
Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites.
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is... Get ready.
Okay.
You are live now.
Hi everyone. I haven't seen you guys in forever. I'm so glad to be back, and we are live on Facebook right now under Christina K. Watts. It's CAY. And I am back. I took a little bit of a medical sabbatical, and I am back. And we are going to answer some questions today, so I'm excited to get that started. To all the listeners, missed you. I'm glad to have you guys all back. and let's build this up tonight. Let's build some spirit up. And okay, so I have a little bowl here. I know you guys on the iHeart Radio can't see, but I have some people's names that we posted on the Facebook page earlier this week, and I'm pulling names to their questions. So right now we have Melissa Ream. She has a question for me, and we're gonna look up her question real quick here. And her question is, are you bonded to your soul families or soul tribes, and do we always have them in our lives? Not necessarily. You can change that up. Everybody has their own acting role and their own way they're going to teach you, and not every person's meant to come in every single life. There's going to be lives where you're not going to have somebody learning from you, and vice versa. Okay, so our next question goes from Deanna Harriott, and her question is, okay, ones with dementia have harder time crossing because of confusion on where they are. So I'm guessing her question is, do they have a harder time crossing due to the confusion? And sometimes, yes, it just depends on the soul. And eventually when they cross over, they do go through a healing process, and they do, take time to consider their learning and go through their life review. And once they do that, then they come out of that like fuzzy phase of, okay, I can't, I have to understand my reality, my alternate reality right now. I'm not, and this is the thing, I specialize in Alzheimer's and dementia patients. And the reason I do this is because there is, when I do healing, there's actually like a little red tunnel that spins in the right frontal lobe. And this is what a spirit calls a soul portal funneling. And what's happening is you have a soul that learned enough from here, but they don't want to leave just yet because they want to kind of stick with their soul family and learn from them still. However, they don't want to stay here all the time. So they kind of funnel through and they go to a different dimension, aka dementia. And when they come back, that's why it takes a little time to go, oh, okay, wait, I know where I'm at now. But sometimes it doesn't click and they have no idea who you are or what's going on because they're so used to the dementia and the tunneling of going to another dimension. So that's what's happening. There's nothing wrong with your loved one. It's just their soul is just kind of tired of learning from Earth, and they want to venture off and do other things. So they use dementia and Alzheimer's to do this. Okay, our next question is from Dawn Horner. Okay, and Dawn Horner asks, do spirits know how you're doing, or do they understand how you feel? Past family members, thanks. So I'm guessing her question is basically, does your loved ones kind of know what you're going through? And yes, your loved ones absolutely know everything that's going on and everything that's going to go on as you go along with your soul contract. So they're all knowing. They're in the state of all knowing, and they watch everything you do. Now remember, our soul, our earth, and our world and heaven kind of blend, okay? So it's pretty much kind of like pulling back a curtain or a veil, aka the veil. And that's how close they are. It's just pulling back a curtain and they're right there, okay? The next question is from Melissa Ream again. So let's go back and let's see Melissa's question. How many parallel lives can we have going at once? And why can we only know about one? This is actually a very, very good question. I love this question. We can have many lives. I think a lot of people like to put the soul in like a little container, and that's all it does. It has its religion, it has its politics, it has its work, it has its family, and nothing else happens. No. This is why you get pulled to people. It's not seeing their physical, it's a feeling you get when you're around them, and it's a feeling of, okay, I recognize you, I don't recognize you, or I do recognize you and I get a good feeling, or I recognize you and I get a bad feeling. So So we do have all these parallel lives happening, and the reason we only can fixate on one at a time is because it would become very confusing. We'd again become a dementia patient, would we not? Or an Alzheimer's patient. So I like how that question kind of followed up with the dementia patient. Okay, Kristen Holt on the personal page asks, let's see where Kristen Holtz is, and we'll answer her question. I think she's on the beginning here. Yes, she is. Can dark affect saging? I bought a big cedar sage from your store and torched it over 6 times and it would not stay lit. It smokes, then goes right out. I even broke some pieces up and tried to burn them and it didn't work. Couldn't believe it. This is actually happening right now, more so during retrograde. You got your little tiny minions running around, your little dark minions running around, and they're using retrograde to their full advantage right now. So if you have a weakness going on, maybe you're fighting with people, you hear ringing in your ear, you're getting headaches, you're getting dizzy spells, you're getting panicky, anxiety. This is all the retrograde energy going on right now. So when you sage, it is very hard to sage with just a lighter. So what I kind of tell people to do is light a candle and then put the sage and light it under the candle. I guarantee you will have a better time of saging and lighting the sage with a candle-lit candle, not with a lighter that you're trying to do the lighter. So I find that this helps a lot when I have dark trying to affect the saging and they don't want you helping yourself. This is a great way. Maria, my guide, had showed me the best way to light sage during these times when they don't want you saging. This has actually happened to me, so you are not alone on that. Okay, Mary Lou Morrison has a question, so let's look at her question. And she asks, I've always been curious as to the migration of the souls of our loved ones that have passed. How does that work? If their soul is off on another lifetime and we ask them to come forth in a reading, can they do both? Yes. And I think somebody on the live show on the Facebook Live actually had that question as well. And your loved ones cross. They can't do anything but cross because again, they're not in the body. And remember, if God can be everywhere and he created you, so can you. If he can be everywhere, so can you. So if I am in the middle of a reading and I'm actually talking, because we do the live readings with the client's consent live on Facebook, unedited from beginning to end. This is what you get. This is what it looks like. And I do that for teaching reasons and to show people how not to get scammed. This is what a reading should look like. Okay. So when I am doing reading and I'm getting all this information and it's connecting, the loved one is with me, but they also the soul is kind of like a molecule. It breaks up into little particles and it goes and floats and does whatever it wants to do and learn from multiple dimensions and multiple places of learning of the consciousness. And the soul can be with me and off doing something else. It can do both. Now, there's sometimes a stubborn soul that just won't come forth, or maybe they'll wait 15 minutes our time to come forth because maybe they didn't want to come right away. So it's really up to the soul, and they have free will. I can't make them do anything. So there is some, on occasion you do get some that just don't want to come right away, and they wait till close to the end of the reading to come forth. Okay, so the next question is from Cassandra Salandro, and let's see her question. So that's the fan one. Let me look at here. Cassandra, okay, here she is. Thoughts on organ donation? Oh boy, that's a toughie one for me. My best friend Rena, as you guys, most of the Facebook hippie tribe knows, she passed 2 years ago and she was an organ donor. Now, I don't dispute organ donating. I believe it does save lives. I believe guides and God put it on earth to show, make use of the body. It's no longer being used, so don't waste it, use it. However, there is some companies out there that are just not very good to be dealing with, and the one that we had to deal with Rena was not very kind, and they talked about her organs in front of her. It got very disturbing where, her mother was so concerned and asked that they put her out before she passes, and they didn't. They actually froze her from the inside out. So her passing was not the best for her. And so here's my biggest thing. And I've actually started a Facebook page about this, and it's called Remove the Mark campaign. And it's basically, do not put organ donating on your license. You might have a great company, or you might have a very money-hungry company, and that's what we're dealing with here in Pittsburgh and the Johnstown area. And if it's on the license, they have whatever power they can use to get the organs. The family has no say, and the loved one obviously has no say. And I can communicate with ICU patients. I talk to the living and the dead. So I was able to communicate with Rena, everything she was going through. And I spent about 2 weeks, I believe it was 2 weeks, with her family in Pittsburgh. And I saw, for real, this company and what it does to people. So it was firsthand that I got to see all of this. And what I tell people is, put it in a will or put it on paper for your family so that they have it in their hands. If you put it on the license, the organ donation company has a way of controlling everything. So the power is no longer in your hands if it's on your license. So take it off your license and put it on a contract where your family has the say of everything, okay? And then you put your wishes on that contract of what you want done, okay? So nobody can control that. Okay, next question. Angela Inman. Okay, Angela Inman. Let's see. Okay, Angela Inman. Manifesting. I am trying to be mindful of my thoughts, which somehow seem to play out in life. How do we work on mindful manifesting good things? Right now with retrograde, this is going to be very difficult. I'm struggling with that myself as a medium. I have some things in the work, and I'm trying to control my manifesting because sometimes we just worry. But I gotta tell you, if you use a mookaite, which I've had one in my car, I have one upstairs in my bedroom, the mookaite seems to calm me down. I notice when I'm not around it, I start thinking. And when I'm around it, it seems more subtle and calmer, like I'm not obsessing thinking, okay? So you can use a mookaite to kind of, test it out. It's just like taking medicine, see how it works for you, do it in doses. Notice your energy before you have it, notice your energy after you have it, notice the energy when you're not around it and when you are around it. Just be very observant of how the mookaite crystal helps you, okay? Yvonne, can you hand me that? I'm going to actually show everybody on the show, and I know the listeners can't see, but the mookaite is almost look like a purple, and it looks like it has some mustard yellow into it, and it looks like a big marble with purples and maroons and yellows and creams and whites. But the biggest colors that jump in are the purples and yellows. That's what it's known for, is the purple, yellows, and creams. And that's a mookaite, okay? And I have it here behind me. Okay, so the next question comes to us from Nancy Fortman. Nancy Fortman. Let's see what she has to ask. Okay, did Jesus reincarnate like us, or is he at the right hand of God? Okay, so that's more of a religious phrasing, and I don't teach religion on the shows. But what I am going to explain to you is, yes, Jesus actually even mentioned in the Bible of reincarnation. He actually said to his apostles when he was around John the Baptist, he had said, "Do you not recognize Elijah?" referring to John the Baptist as Elijah. So yes, Jesus has reincarnated. He actually reincarnated already, and he's actually close to the Vatican near the Pope. That's why all this stuff with the Vatican is spewing up. And if you check out my predictions from January, there's a lot of things coming out. I had mentioned Area 51. There was things going to start coming out for Area 51. I said things were going to start showing up about the Vatican. That's now happening. So check those predictions out. You can go to the YouTube channel, The Divine Medium Christina K, C-A-Y, and subscribe. You will not miss a show. Not one video will you miss if you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. And the predictions are actually on there. If you scroll through, you'll find them. And I do talk about them live. Okay, our next question comes from, Melissa Ream again. Okay, so Melissa Ream asks, let's see where her question is. I didn't mark it. Okay, well, let's find it. Oh, I think it's on the other page. Here we go. Yes, here it is. How many lives do we have to incarnate to reach the finishing point? I think she thinks it's a race. And what is it we're trying to achieve to complete or accomplish to get to it? Okay, so basically the soul is learning, and it's doing everything it can to learn how to grow in spiritual enlightenment. It's not so much spirituality, it's the consciousness growing like a baby, learning ABCs, math, geometry. It's learning different topics, different subjects, and it doesn't have to come to Earth to learn all of that. But a lot of people do come to Earth because it's so heavy, it's so weighed down, and it's actually interesting to the soul to learn from here because it's so hard to learn from here, and that's the point of it. But honestly, you can incarnate as many times as you want. There is no limit, and when you put a limit on the soul, you're not allowing it to be free to be itself. So try not to put restrictions or limits or put the soul into a box. Think how free you can be when you don't hold on to fear and you don't limit yourself and you don't box yourself in. Okay? The next question is from Amanda Squirrels. I'm hoping I'm not butchering her name. Okay, so her question is, let me find it. All right, Amanda Squirrels. Do birthmarks show how you died in past life? If so, what does it mean if you do not have any type of birthmark? Okay, the birthmarks that show up on people's bodies are mainly there to show a significance of a specific life that played a huge role and is going to play a role in this life. So if you show up and you don't have birthmarks, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or you didn't have past lives. It just means there's not a past life that's going to play a dramatic role. Birthmarks tend to mark, okay, so I had my head chopped off a couple times as Queen Mary and Queen Anne Boleyn, Tudor, and I have right here a birthmark to kind of remind me, because both of those lives are actually playing a role in this life. So wherever you have a birthmark, it's showing you that life is going to play a role. Don't freak out. It's just like when a loved one comes to visit. They kind of give you that thought of themselves in your mind, and then let's say, for example, you hear something knocked down. They're just saying, don't freak out, it's just me. Birthmark kind of works the same way. It's saying, don't freak out, I'm going to play a role in this life. Just play along with it, okay? Because it's trying to teach you something. And most likely in your dreams, because your body is sleeping, your soul is not, it's off doing things, you might even visit those lives multiple times. And you might not remember all of them, but you will come back with messages each time you do this, okay? All right, our next question comes from Elsie McAllister. Elsie McAllister asks, oh wait, I'm on the wrong page. What exactly does karma mean? For example, so was mean to their assistant, then later in the day, the mean person lost a wad of money. Is that karma or just coincidence? Okay, so with karma, sometimes your guides will let you see karma play out. Yes, most of the time it has to do with things they're doing in this life that they need to feel a repercussion of what their actions are doing. And karma, they don't see karma as bad. Spirit guides do not see karma as bad. They see it as a learning. So I use this analogy all the time. So let's say, for example, you have a son who has Down syndrome and a mother who's very frustrated with the Down syndrome. And she has nobody to help her, it's just her. So she's doing all the work, so she's taking her frustration out on the son. Okay, so now let's fast forward. The mom dies, the son dies. They go to their life review and they start reviewing their life. Mom feels everything she did to the son, and the son feels everything the mom went through. So now they have a better of an understanding because they switched roles, or they got to feel each other through this soul contract life review. Now, the mom says, I want to make this up to you. Let's go back. I want to try this again. But there's something wrong with that. It's not until they switch roles that they see each other's point of view better when they're living it out. Because you can't just look at a book and know what's going to happen. You have to get into the book, read it, and when you're reading it, you're not even getting the experience. It's almost like you have to jump into the story and get the full experience of what's happening. Okay, so that's how karma plays out. They want you to learn from both aspects. So most likely, they're doing a real life karma understanding, and they're trying to help this soul. I don't see the soul as being bad. I'm thinking maybe they just didn't have the best decisions that they had made. There's no right or wrong. There's no, yes or no with paths. It's just what you choose is what you're going to learn. So, and based off of this person, they most likely are choosing not great things to learn from. Then it goes inside and they don't know what else to do but be mean about it and be upset about it and taking it out on others. So their guides are kind of doing things to kind of show them, this is how you made this person feel. Now, how do you feel that this kind of happened to you? Okay. So it's a real life karma cycle that's happening. Okay. All right. Our next question comes from Heidi Adelheid. I hope I'm not butchering her name. And her question is, major deep-rooted systems humans have developed in order to live and survive in this world will have to crumble in order to bring change. And she's very right. No doubt this will create chaos and disrupt comfort levels people are accustomed to. Knowing this will come about, what can we do for one another to help this transition, and what can we do spiritually to help ascend the vibration to bring us out of the long repeating cycle of the sheep effect, which I talk about a lot on my live shows. The distraction that keeps people from knowing who they are and what is really going on. You have to help people that are around you. If you see a homeless person and your first immediate thought is to get away from them, oh, they smell, or they did this to themselves, you have to see that from their point of view, that they're also struggling from their life and their learning and how they decided to choose to learn, or maybe they chose that path to get raw into their learning. Because when I see someone with Down syndrome, or I see somebody that has their leg cut off or their arm cut off, or I see a homeless person, I look at them as warriors because they really took on the hardship. They did not waste their time here. They took it on and they said, you know what? Give it to me. I want to learn from it. I don't want to waste my time here. When I go back, I really want to excel my learning. So I see these people as really taking on a life and really learning from it. And we have a homeless person. I'm always beeping at him. I just took him Gatorade the other day. Just do these things because you never know how you're going to affect and enlighten their life. I mean, he sits on a stoop and he looks sad all day. And I take him to Gatorade, and because I do this because I'm building up a little bit of a trust, because one day I just want to sit and I want to hear his story. I want to see what brought you to this. Did you really want to learn from this? Like, are you enjoying it? Because, just because somebody's homeless doesn't mean they're not enjoying it. They could have a bunch of friends and just they just want to be off the grid. They don't want to have a house. Just because they're homeless doesn't mean that it's bad, okay? So it's reaching out with your heart and embracing everybody, okay? All right, our next question, which most likely will be the last one, Emily Blanton asks, if a baby dies and it comes back as spirit or ghost, does it come back as a baby or older? Do they continue to age on the other side? Your soul ages, okay? So based off how you're learning, your soul ages. So let's say, for example, your first life is the baby crawling. Your second life is the baby walking. Your third life is the baby talking. so each life, the baby's growing, okay? So they do age, but like for example, Jonathan lives in our attic, and Justin sees him as DJ off of Roseanne, the show Roseanne. So he comes to him as a little boy, but to me, he comes to me as a 20-some-year-old, but he wears the same hat. Justin knew exactly what color hat he was wearing. So very, very cool how that works. So yes, we do spiritually soul age. And that is it for me, guys. This was a great first show. I love these questions. Keep coming for next week. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. And guys, honestly, dig in deep with your learning. Take on retrograde by the balls and do something with it. Don't waste this time. It's there to teach you how to express yourself, and don't let anger be built up. Let it out. Let people know how you're feeling. Even if it comes out angry, just let them know so it's out of your body and you can continue in happiness and positivity. And that's it for me tonight, guys. Okay.
What an awesome first show. Good job. Good job. That question about how often do we reincarnate, I've always wanted to know that too. That was awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank
Good
you, honey.
job. Yes, ma'am. Have a great week. We will do it again in 7 days.
Okay, honey, bye.
We're glad you're back.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. That was fun. I know, the show goes so quick.
Yeah, that's a quick 30 minutes.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm going to shut this down and I'll finish. We don't have a whole lot of questions. We could finish it off.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see. All right, who's this? Mercy Gutierrez. Let's see. Mercy Gutierrez. Why do people, kids, newborns at birth die such awful death? I thought this question actually was going to be my last one because it was going along those lines. And I was like, oh, that's that question. I was like, oh, that's a good one. Okay. You always hear, it was their time. Is there a time and a reason why you passed in that manner? Okay. So, yes. Every death has a purpose. Actually, Maria is just reminding me of something. Okay, so I've been feeling like in the last day or two, bugs on me. Like it feels like there's bugs running all over me. Have you been feeling that at all?
Like on my back.
No, that's different. You're feeling like tiny needle points. That's different. This is like you actually think there's a bug on you. Okay.
I have not.
Okay, so I've been feeling that. I kept yelling at Maria, like, what the hell is, because I'm driving and I'm like, what the, and I felt one on my foot and I'm like, what is happening? Why do I feel like there's bugs on me?
I feel like I'm getting bit.
Okay, that's a little different. I don't know what that is.
Okay,
I'm just going to be honest with you.
Just continue.
All right.
Continue.
So she said you just died in one of your lives. So she says you can put a post out and see how many people are feeling the bug effect. And she goes, I guarantee you're going to find probably a lot of people that are feeling the bug effect. And I go, okay, why are they feeling the bug effect and I'm feeling the bug? And she said, it's a group passing, kind of like 9/11. In a past life, in one of the lives, alternate lives that are going on right now.
They went as a group.
Mm-hmm. And I was part of that. So whoever's on the hippie tribe that's feeling like the little bugs effects, we all passed in the last day or two from that life, and that's what the bug effect is. So anytime you feel a bug effect and it's like it lasts for maybe a couple days, she said that's one of your alternate lives had passed. They died, and you're feeling the bugs from being buried. That's the bug effect. Yeah, that's a little morbid, but I get what she's saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just like, can you make it stop? Because it's freaking me out. Like, I'm driving and I'm thinking there's like a spider or something on my foot. It feels like little bugs or like
a little tickle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Jackie Hallowell. Oh, wait, I didn't answer that question. Hold on, let me go back to that. Okay, so, yes. Newborns at birth die such awful death. Okay, so just because you see a physical baby doesn't mean the soul isn't learning. The soul is learning no matter what it's doing. So let's say, for example, we do have a child that died. Maybe she had an heart issue and she passed away, and she hung on for maybe a week or two. I feel like this actually happened to somebody, because I keep seeing surgeries and there's incisions near the chest area where the heart was being worked on, but she didn't make it. So basically this child or this soul had said, yes, I want to come in, I want to have something happen right away. I don't want to live the whole life out. And I want to learn like what that does to the body as a baby, not an adult. And I don't want to stay the whole time. And the parents, who were the souls on the soul contract, agreed to all this. So they're all looking at this and they're saying, okay, you want to learn like that, we'll learn with you, even though it's going to be super hard for us. We understand why. It's an all-knowing understanding. So you do understand why that soul wants to come in as a baby, have a heart issue, get surgeries, and don't make it through. You just don't remember it in the physical as you're here on earth. But when your soul goes back, your soul's going to go, okay, I remember agreeing to this. So yes, all these things happen for a reason. And yes, it was their time. I mean, if you think about it, let's say there's a plane crash, okay? Yes, it was their time, because that's not just some kind of fluke. That actually is happening, and that mass group soul leaving agreed to that. They all agreed that they would leave at one time, okay? Okay, itching in a section of the body is your guides. That's not the dimensional passing that I was just talking about. That's more of a just your guides type. Because we've been having some things in place, and Yvonne said she had like a peaceful rubbing on her back, and that's usually angels, because if you have that euphoria piece coming along with the softness of the rubbing, it feels like little needle points. Or if you just have the itching in the needle points, that's your guides. So the angels are more of like they pull peace to you. Okay, so all right, next question. Carol Ashley. Okay, Carol Ashley asks, why is it that we feel the presence of or a gentle nudge that makes us remember some of our deceased loved ones? Yet there are I just talked about that. They pop into your mind. We have never even once felt an inkling. Okay, so she's asking, why has she felt some presences of her family and not her dad? Okay. Now I even have very vivid dreams of most of the others, but never my dad. Okay, so Carol, here's my question. I'm thinking that your dad's passing really hit you hard, and this happens a lot. I see this a lot with people. You took it really hard, and you're trying to pull him in. You want to talk to him. You want to see him. You want him to tell you something. You keep pulling at him. Whereas the others, you really didn't do that because you weren't as close to them. Okay, so what happens is when you start doing that pushing, I want to see you, I miss you, you're actually pushing the energy from coming in. So he pulls back his energy till you can calm down and relax your soul, and then it allows him to come in and show you dreams and do things around you and things like this. This is most top reason why this happens. Okay, next question. Cassandra Salandro. I was having trouble finding people's questions,
Good
but
questions.
I mean, this really actually helped me a lot. Okay, Sandra. Oh, wait. Oh. Where's Cassandra's other one? That's interesting. That is very, very interesting.
What?
Well, okay, I just pulled this out of the bowl. This is the one from earlier. I was supposed to say her question too. I know for a fact I thought I saw question 1, which was thoughts on organ donation. But this one that I pulled on the show was all about dreams. Do we go somewhere else when we're dreaming? That was Rena.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted me to talk about organ donation.
Yeah.
Because I just pulled it now. I'm like, wait a minute. I just did that
She
question.
wanted that on the radio show.
Uh-huh. What a brat.
Yeah.
All right, well, Cassandra, I'm going to do your second question, which I was supposed to do on the show, and it got
Sidetracked.
flipped
aside.
on me on purpose. Oh my God, my leg is so itchy. Okay, I'm not scratching my crotch. I'm going to put that out there. I'm scratching my leg, people. Get your head out of the gutter. All right. Okay, so all about dreams. Do we go somewhere? And I did talk about this on the live feed. We do. We go places. We go to different portals, and we learn all these different things, and we pass life review, and we do a ton of stuff. Okay, Melissa Ream, question 5, which is on the back here. Oh my God, I looked over, and there's me and you, our faces. What are your thoughts on organ donation based off of being at the hospital? Because you were there too.
I took it off immediately.
So did Justin.
Off of my driver's license after I saw what went down with that family, the horror they went through, the grief that they went through, and what they did to Rena. There's no way.
I mean, just
that was horrid.
I think
nobody should have to suffer like that.
I think what did it for me was when they froze her from the inside out, so they could preserve.
Yes. And what that mother went through when they told her that was just...
And I didn't want to get too deep into it on the show, but I think the most disgusting part was, do you remember when they said they were going to buy, what was her liver? I think they said they were going to buy.
Yes.
And then they came back and said, we'll sell it back to you. We don't need it now.
Yeah.
While she's laying in the bed, they're negotiating this.
These people have no heart, no feeling, no conscience.
Now, I have to put out, Core's actual owner, president, was a great man. He started this, and he was amazing. And then after he died, his wife took it over, and that's why it went to crap, because she is nothing but money hungry.
And how they were lurking and waiting for these people to pass. Just waiting.
There's a nurse in Conemaugh that told me Core, that's the company's name, paces ICU and waits.
They were doing that down there.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will not. I don't have it on my license. I strongly suggest you don't either, because
absolutely.
You never know what company you're going to deal with. Leave it in your family's hands to do
There's
that.
no way to describe what that family went through and what we saw that they went through unless you were there. You can't even describe it.
Leave the contract with somebody you trust too. You don't want somebody, that you're kind of iffy about. This person, you need to trust them, that they will do what is ever on your contract that you have laid out for them. So, okay, Melissa Ream asks, will bad souls always be bad souls, like violent people, narcissists, or compulsive liars? No, not necessarily, Melissa. This, souls tend to learn the way they want to learn. So, let's say you dealt with a narcissist in this life, which I have on several occasions. I see them as this is how they decided to learn. They wanted to learn this way. This is how they wanted to learn. So they're choosing to do that. But doesn't mean that in the next life they're going to do the same thing. They might, because maybe they didn't learn enough from it and they decide to do it again, but not necessarily, no. Not every life. Okay, Melissa Ream again. Question 3. That's the fan one. I don't need that one. Hold on, guys. We have I have all the pages here. Our fan page, the Divine Media page, the personal page. All right, she's on this page. Question 3. How many lives have you lived?
Too many to count.
Yeah, I'm up in the triple digits, almost to the millions. I've had a lot of lives. But it's almost like you feel like it's not enough though, because I'm up in the 800s, and you almost sit back and go, yeah, it's not enough. I still need to do more.
Still want to do more.
But I don't think I want to do it here. Sorry, guys.
I don't,
I'm already trying to get the hell out.
don't blame you. I don't. Who
I love
wants
you.
To be here?
But this shit's cray-cray.
But we're learning.
Now see, I had a comment made to me. I think people, because I had a life as Mary Magdalene, they think that I'm supposed to be this angelic peachy cream cookie cutter thought of, this is Jesus, you should be like Jesus. I was not angelic in that life. I tested boundaries. I didn't have a potty mouth like I do now. I don't tell people to grab retrograde by the balls, I can tell you that. In this life, I'm more blunt. And I think I'm learning, I know that I'm learning from control, not my own control, but other people trying to control me. I know I'm trying to learn how to speak up and have my own mind. But I think a lot of people think, as soon as they hear that I had a past life as Mary Magdalene, that I'm supposed to be this angelic, flower child. Like, I don't know. Saint. And, no. Saint Peter, if you want to call him that, but Peter, the Apostle Peter, he was worse than I was. And, he and I did not see eye to eye too often. We didn't have fights, but we definitely did not agree on a whole lot. He was more egotistical. He was quiet but egotistical in his own little way. Whereas I was outgoing and, go. And I always was talking about my thoughts and, what I was getting and what I was hearing and my path and, you know what I mean? And teaching. I helped teach. So. Okay, next question. Sherry Noel, and that's on this page. Okay, so Sherry, here it is. How do implants attach to us? And I think she meant cords from what I'm gathering. She wants to know how they attach to us. They attach to us through soul contracts. So I have a cord with Yvonne. I have a cord with Justin. I've had cords with past lives, and I'm able to actually go in and cut those cords. So people don't, because if you have somebody in this life that you have a cord to, and you want to just get away from them, if they're too draining, they're too toxic, but you can't seem to stay away from them, I'm able to cut that cord, because if you're no longer learning from them, that cord can be cut. However, in some cases it's not allowed, because you are supposed to keep going rounds and learn from them, because obviously you're going rounds because you're not learning either, because you keep going back. So some people are to have the cords cut, but most 99% of the time, if I ask to have that cord cut, it will be cut. However, I do speculate, if I cut this cord, most likely it will get attached into another life where you're going to have to eventually go another round with them and learn again. So either you deal with them in this life and stand your ground, or you keep going back and keep going rounds with them. Really up to you. D owns, when people die, the glossing over starts. Is that a question, D? Are you trying to ask me a question? Okay, we don't have too many. I think we have about 5. Okay, so Orque Vesios. Thank God I didn't have that during the radio show, because I would have butchered the crap out of it. Okay. Orque, let's see. So Sherry, I hope I answered your question. If you have a follow-up question, since you're on here, I can see you on here, just go ahead and ask it. Orque, let's see. I almost want to say orchid. Orchid.
It's very similar.
I know it does. Okay. Oh, here she is. Do we recognize our soul family or someone that we have a karmatic debt to? Okay. Again, it's not karmatic debt. Karma is just a learning pattern or a way the soul is learning. I ask because being on social media, sometimes people, I answered this. People look familiar or trigger certain emotions, good or bad, because it could be that it is someone we had a past life with, and because we have no memory of this, that we just feel the emotion. and again, I said that on the show, yes, you will have feelings, but it doesn't mean it's a karmatic debt. It just means, okay, I feel this, I don't understand why, but I'm guessing it's a past life and maybe we just didn't get along, which is fine, because if you're on social media, it doesn't mean I have to interact with you. But if you get a good feeling, you're like, oh, I get this special loving feeling, maybe I should reach out to you. Okay. No, the remembering begins. People try to make even a crazy life more like a Hallmark movie. Oh, okay. Robin Spicer asks, the chords, what if your soul contract was fulfilled with the person? And I'll know that through the cord cutting. But usually if you keep going back to that person, the contract is not fulfilled. There's almost like a point to the soul where it says enough. And then you finally just walk away, you change your number, you step away and you stop thinking about them. But if you keep getting pulled back, it is because you obviously are not learning enough to walk away and cut the cord yourself, okay? All right. Jamie Lee Powers asks, do goddesses exist? I love this question. Maxie, do you want to chime in on that one?
He's as snug as a bug in a rug.
Maxie, you have something to say? You want to chime in on this? Look at him looking at me out of the corner of his eye. He's just laying there like, I don't want to get up, but I'm acknowledging that you're talking to me.
Leave me alone. I am cozy. Just let me be.
Maxie, let the mommy go bye-byes. I'm going to go bye-byes. Yes, I am. If you won't get over here and give me kisses. Look at him. He's so cute.
I know. I know. She's cray-cray.
Maxie's mommy cray-crays. You're mommy's buddy. Are you mommy's buddy? Yes, you are.
He's everything.
You're mommy's peachy pie. Yes, you are. And I love you. I just don't like when it's storming out and you lay on my head and then vibrate. It's just not fun for me. Especially when I have a headache and I was trying to take a nap. Yeah, he was the one that woke me up, by the way. Did you wake mommy up? Because you were scared. You sat right on my head and said, wake up.
Wake up, mama.
Maxie, you know by now Thunder not get you. You know this. Why are you so
As long as
silly?
he's on mama's head, it's not.
You're so silly. I know, right? I'm just thankful I'm not Justin, because I have seen Vader, 150 pounds, go lay on his head, and it was hysterical. He was trying so hard to get his head out from under his butt. It was hysterical. I tried helping, but I couldn't stop laughing.
You can't move him.
I almost peed the bed. I was laughing so hard. Like, just 150 pounds. It's like two people sitting on our beds vibrating. I told Justin, I go, we don't even need a hotel vibrating bed or quarters. We got Vader.
Just throw the dogs on there.
Yeah. Vader, he just vibrates the whole bed and you're just like, ah. So nice. Sometimes I want it to storm so he does that. Okay. It was too funny. Okay, Sherry, you're talking more along the lines of like an alien implant, not soul cords. Okay. Okay. So alien implants, yes, I have one. Okay. The alien implants tend to, how do I explain it? Sometimes they'll itch and sometimes they'll vibrate in your body. And, this is just, it's almost like, okay, so Maria's using a walkie-talkie kind of mechanism. So let's say your soul family, your galactic family wants to check in on you and how you're doing. It's like they pick up the walkie-talkie and then your body vibrates or itches. That's them picking up and checking on you. So it's like your body reacts with your walkie-talkie to their walkie-talkie. That's how she used it. A walkie-talkie.
That's a good example.
Spiritual walkie-talkie.
I like that.
I like it too. It's awesome. Okay. Okay, Shannon, that's fine. If you have bad experiences and you choose to remain single, that's how you choose is how you're going to learn. If you decide to date somebody, you're dating somebody, because that's a path that's creating itself. If you choose to be alone, that's a path creating itself. By you choosing, you're creating the path that you want to learn from. Wait, what else did she say? Not every life. I know a lot of people are into this new age, hippy dippy, twin flame thing. And not every person is to have their twin flame. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I had mine and it's a nightmare. Okay. Twin flames are not meant to have lives together. They clash heads. One's more narcissistic and egotistical, and where the other one's more elevated and enlightened, and they just don't go along together. Now, you might find that 1% that get along and they have finally balanced through all their past lives that they've had. They both don't have the ego attached. They both are enlightened, and they're actually helping people. A twin flame shows up when a mission is supposed to take form. So my twin flame showed up because I was supposed to get on this path and I was stuck through a depression, and he showed up to push me out of it. That's all he was supposed to do. And then he was supposed to leave. But we took it up a notch and kept going with it, and it got hostile and bad because you are too similar to even be near each other. And when one doesn't listen because of the ego, the other one has a harder time, okay? So not every life is meant to have the twin flame. But people are on this spiritual kick of, I have to find my twin flame. And no, not in this life. You might, if you haven't found it by now, or her by now, it most likely is not meant to take place. So don't discontinue people out of your life because you're sitting there waiting for your twin flame. Do not do this, because you could mess up people that you're supposed to be learning from. Okay. What is it when you feel drawn to someone? That's a soul recognition. It's not seeing their physical. It's being pulled to them spiritually and understanding that you recognize their soul. Okay. Okay. Next question comes from Amanda Squires. I feel like I'm messing her name up. Amanda Squires. Okay. Random thought that pops into your mind that has nothing to do with what you may be actively doing. Is that your spirit guides telling you things? Yes, this is their random way of talking to you. So let's say, for example, you're doing dishes and all of a sudden you start thinking about writing a book. This is your guide saying, hey, we just got a notification through email. This is Maria talking. Through spiritual email, we got a notification in your contract that, hey, you're supposed to be writing this book. Oh, it's Esquire. Amanda Esquire.
Oh, wow.
She sounds prestigious.
Special.
She's a specialist. Okay, so... Okay, so what happens is basically... Wait, let me look at her question again. Oh, I never answered Jamie Lee Powers' question about... Because we were talking about thunder and stuff. Okay, so the random thoughts that pop into your mind. Yes, this is your guide showing you, okay, this path is opening, and now... Oh, she said, no, it's Squires. I thought she put an E in front of it. It sounded like it was Esquires. E Squires.
E silent.
Oh, E Squires?
But I would have thought the same thing as you, but it must be in her name.
Amanda, can I just call you Squirts?
There you go.
You're my squirt friend. like the soda.
Yes.
Squirt. Because every time I say her name, I see yellow and green. And it just reminded me of the soda.
Of the
so I'm just going to call her Amanda Squirts, like the soda.
There you go.
So anytime she calls the shop, she's going to go, Squirt, like the soda. I'm like, oh my God, I know her. I know exactly who she is.
I know who she is.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, so yes, this is your guides. And always listen to what they're popping in your head because, oh, it's a good thing I have tissues here. It's right in front of me. How quaint is that? Okay. So when things pop into your mind, it is your guides talking to you. So kind of be aware and listen to what they have to say. Okay, third question to the last. Cassandra Solandro. Okay. Why do we sometimes feel not here, and how to help? Oh my gosh, Maxie, would you like to chime in and answer these? And you, shut it down with the yawning. Making me tired, woman. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Why do we sometimes feel not here, and how to help with that feeling? Sometimes I feel so spaced out, like I'm off somewhere else. Probably because you are. And didn't I just say that in the bathroom today? I said I feel like I'm not fully here today.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm off with my soul contract doing something. I really do. I'm making decisions with my soul contract, so technically part of you is here, but part of you isn't. And that's just your soul kind of separating to go do something real quick, even though you're living this life out.
Don't forget, is it Jamie Powder?
Yeah. Philip Randall. Were you there when Christina was first married? Okay, Christina was never married, Philip, so I have no idea what you're talking about with that. Deanna. This is such a weird random question, but having full ears all the time, so some weird way for spirit. Could it be blockage, like always fluid filled? Could it be guts? Oh. Okay, so you're basically, okay, wait, Deanna, kind of smooth this question out for me. Are you getting fluid in your ear, or you just feel like the hearing's getting blocked and you can't, like, almost like, what's the word am I thinking of?
You know how, like, when you
get an earache?
Or did you ever go, when you go up in a plane and
your ears pop.
You want your ears to pop. It has that full feeling, like you just want them to pop.
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of,
I
think I get what she's saying. No, I don't see that as a blockage, but it could be your guides. And I know this is it because Maria's just saying it. It's your guide's way of saying you're not listening. You're not following what you're supposed to be wanting to. You're not following the way your soul wants to follow. So your soul wants to go a certain way, and you're kind of blocking that way of going. And they're basically doing that as like a symbolism of listen to yourself. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Sometimes I do, but I've gone to the ENT so many times and they say I'm fine. Yeah, doctors, when it comes to spiritual things happening to your body, doctors are never going to figure out what's going. It's always going to be, you're fine, it came out negative, blah, blah, blah. This is spiritual stuff going on, and you're going to see a lot more of this, and I said this 4 years ago. Doctors are getting to the point where they cannot explain half the stuff that's happening now because we're getting more into spiritual learning rather than physical learning. She said that makes a lot of sense. So she's Deanna, you just got to trust your guides. You got to trust yourself and do what you're being pulled to do. Stop listening to other people and what they want you to do and what they decide for you. Okay? You're the one learning, so learn the way you want to learn. Okay, last two questions. This one comes from Kristen Holt. Let's see. Okay. When someone passes away and they choose to reincarnate, will part of their soul be in heaven for us to see when we pass away, or will their soul fully be on earth? No. Like, Rena reincarnated, but I still am able to tap into her. Remember, again, you're going back to the soul being a molecule and breaking up them particles like an atom, and it going off and doing things in multiple dimensions and multiple learning. So part of them can be here learning. Remember, you don't want to cage the soul into a box. You want to allow your soul to be free because it learns from multiple things at all times. Okay? Last question. Claudia Laura asks, read an article about food helping people with depression symptoms. Could you explain food and spirituality? Oh my gosh, that's the path we're taking right now. Isn't that weird? Me and Yvonne are on this path of eating better, and okay, I gotta tell you guys, when I am doing readings, I notice a difference in my reading frequency when I eat like McDonald's to say eating a salad or something healthy like greens.
Nutritional.
Yeah, nutritional. The frequency is a lot smoother and louder when I eat healthy, rather than if I eat like McDonald's or something like that, where my body's weighed down. It's I have to struggle a little bit more to pull. So I try not to, when I'm doing a reading, I try to eat like Subway or something healthy. How come some people have scary NDEs while others are all love and light? Okay. I'm going to see how Maria wants me to tackle this one. And I got to go back to Jamie Lee Powers' goddess thing, because I didn't know how, I really don't know how Maria wants me to answer that one. Beverly, you said it exactly. You shifted into a dimension and came back. It happens. A soul does that on occasion. Don't freak out. It's not supposed to be scary. It's just your soul decided to go there for a second. That happened to Christina when she was younger. She was about, I guess maybe she was about 7, and her parents were crossing an intersection, and 1 minute she was in the car in the back, the right part of the seat behind the passenger seat, and the next she was in Plateau, and she could describe, and I can describe to a T what that looks like. And she got very scared and overwhelmed because she was 7 and didn't realize what it was, an all-knowing that the time goes on forever, your soul never dies, and you can be stuck in this place if you don't change things. So, and then she popped back into the car, and that stuck with her forever. So it does happen. Maria says that the NDEs are not supposed to be scary. What she thinks is happening, or what she knows is happening, is dark plays a role in some of these things. Dark is trying everything it can to miscommunicate NDEs, or have somebody tell you something negative about an NDE, or to try to kind of scare you, not scare you, well, yeah, I guess it would be scare you into dying. Okay, so I saw and I'm going to use this as an example because she's bringing the priest up to me right now. On YouTube, I saw this priest. He had an NDE. Mm-hmm. He said that he died and Jesus was not happy with him because of how he was dealing with his people as a congregation. He was taking their money, and just, he was cheating on his wife, and here he's trying to teach the word, and he's doing all this stuff. Well, he said Mother Mary pleaded his case and said, give him one more chance. Now, all knowingly, that doesn't happen, because Jesus is, okay, here's where the NDE goes wacky, okay? Because Jesus died on the cross to take care of our karmatic sins, and he automatically forgives because he did that. Because you can't go back, you can't go to Jesus and say, I don't deserve to be in heaven. And he says to you, yes, you do, because I died for you to be here, period. Okay? So it goes back to that whole thing of, okay, well, that was misinterpreted, because he came back and basically said, Mother Mary pleaded my case, and Jesus gave me another chance and had me come back. Well, I think that whole message was, stop leading people on a wrong path. It's not that I won't let you in heaven. It's the fact that you shouldn't be doing this, and you should be learning better. And he changed his whole way of living. Yeah. I mean, he continued to be a priest, but he's doing it in a different way now. And he's talked about how the Vatican and all these other priests are doing all this stuff, and he went along with it and let his ego allow him to do it. And he said he really faced, and I think they do that to kind of get you back onto a path. So it might come off negative, but I think it's kind of like karma. It's not supposed to be negative. It's to teach you something.
Learn from it.
Yeah. It's not to be scared of dying. Rebecca, I really didn't want to talk about the Vatican bodies. Somebody posted. Have you read about it?
I don't.
Okay, my predictions about Vatican are coming out. Things are going to start coming out, like full force. They're coming out. Like the Vatican's going down.
Right.
And I think that they're playing along so that they can keep a better eye on it. so it doesn't get out of control. The second it doesn't go in their favor, they're going to shut the shit down. I'm telling you right now. I will put my word onto it.
Right.
They will shut it down, or they'll find some kind of excuse. Melissa Ream, I believe it was, put it on Divine Discussions that these bodies were. There was a girl that went missing, and they traced her body back to the Vatican. That she's dug up into two saints. I guess her body was found put into these two catacombs of two saints. I think it was Saint Elizabeth and Saint Rebecca, I believe. And her body was in that area. Well, when they found her bones, they started finding other bodies. Now, what Marie is telling me is that these were sacrifices. She keeps referring to these, especially that girl, as they were the sacrifices. Think about that. What religion would cause sacrificing of human bodies? Satanic. Instead of using animals, they used people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think the Vatican is this holier than thou facility, when really there was a lot of satanic ritual stuff going on to keep their riches going, because they were dealing with the A word. Do you see?
Yes.
To keep the treasures going. And I think the only reason the Vatican's going along with it is because the Pope right now is more open. But I guarantee if they had any other Pope from the last couple centuries, this would not be out in the open. It would be hushed under the rug. And I think he's kind of like, okay, well, let's see what we find out. Because he probably most likely doesn't know back in those times what actually was going on.
No.
So he kind of, in a way, is on his own journey of what's really going on. And I feel like he really is trying to change things and help people. And I think that Jesus being there in the Vatican is influencing that pattern. But I guarantee he's going to have other influencers, because I see these priests gathering around him, influencing his decision to shut it down. Because they're going to try to convince him that this is going to look bad on you, not only you, but all of that, like, you know what I mean? They're
Right.
going to convince him to shut it down. And they're going to be his voice. But I feel like he really kind of wants to find out himself, and that's why the only reason why it's still going. But I guarantee it's going to get shut down. The more they dig deeper into this, they're going to find out some more stuff.
And they're going to keep digging.
Mm-hmm. But they keep referring to these bones as the sacrifices for the demonic entity A.
Wow. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what group. It could have not have been, like, the Pope in those times may have not have known any of that was going on. This could have been like a hush-hush group that was part of the Vatican at the time that was doing like this underground crap, which that's mainly what I'm getting. I'm getting that mainly it wasn't the popes that were knowing this, but it was like a hush-hush underground kind of thing that had access to get into the Vatican. They would have had to be part of the Vatican to get into those areas. Mm-hmm. You have to be part of the Vatican to get into that part of the area. Yeah. You have no idea how many nuns I've talked to. There was one nun, and I'm not going to tell you what area she came. She came into my shop, and she basically said she thought this was going to be, she got into being a nun because she thought it was going to be like the Peace Corps. Like, you know, they were going to go give food and help humanity. And she said the mother nun or whatever,
yes.
the head nun, said to her, no, that's not how this works. We are the church, and they bow to us. And she said that the head mother nurse or mother nun had to change the nurses' rooms around every week because the priests would navigate up into the rooms and have sex with the nurses or the nuns. I don't know why I keep calling them nurses, but yeah, the priests would navigate up into those rooms and try to have sex with the nuns, and they would. The nuns would just go along with it because they had to answer to the priests. So they had to go along with it. And she said it made her so sick to her stomach, she quit. She said, I will never go back to that life. I had this whole illusion that it was about Peace Corps and helping people and helping she said her main goal was to help the homeless. That was what her main goal was in this life, was to help the homeless, help humanity. And she said it, and this is very close to us, about an hour and a half, and we travel to it a lot. I can just give you one guess. I'm sure you can figure it out. Very close to us that this is going on down there.
Wow.
It's sickening. So
There's so much people don't know.
yeah, and I think she came into my shop and she did say she recognized me, and I wanted to tell her I was Mary, but at that time I wasn't ready to come out with who I was,
That was a long.
and that I was here to tear down the Vatican, and Jesus is there to tear down the Vatican, tear down. It repeats. It's like a vibrational.
Push.
No, it's like a vibrational word that keeps hitting Earth. These walls will come tearing down. These walls will be coming down. It's like a trumpet. And I think that's why a lot of people in some areas are hearing a trumpet. They keep saying, I hear like the trumpets, really loud trumpets playing. And that's the trumpets of heaven, to break down the veil and have people open their eyes to what religion has been doing. Religion was not meant to segregate, control, take people's money. None of that. The what is it? The thing? Is it thing? Thing? Like giving 10% of what you owe, or 10% of your paycheck or whatever.
Yes.
It wasn't supposed to be all that. Church in heaven's eyes was the gathering of people to discuss God and His love, and nothing more.
Nothing more.
Nothing more.
And they took it to a whole new level.
They did. They exploited people's. Basically, they made humans feel like they were stupid, that they were in charge. Like, oh, you know what? We know what we're doing. You just follow along with what we're doing. Yeah. No,
And
I'm
they
not
did.
doing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Mhm. Yeah. Very, very sad. Goddesses. All right, Maria's getting me on goddesses now.
Is this, what question was this?
Jamie Lee
Lee
Powers. Yeah. She's saying goddesses are galactic beings. They come from other lands, other realms, and they've shown up in our history because they were here to teach things. Now, one of the biggest things that you and I talked about was Nefari.
Yes.
Or Nefari, as she goes by. My guide that came in with me from the accident. I don't know what the heck was I watching. I was watching some kind of history thing, and what was the Egyptian that came up again with the big head? Because that's how I see her. How they described her on the TV. I was like, oh my God, that's Nefari. And they had said that this Egyptian was galactic, and when she died, they did whatever they could to cover up her history of even being there, like crossing out her face and all that stuff. And Nefari had said when I did that first live feed and I talked about how she came in with me, somebody had asked, can we look her up? Can we learn anything? And she said, you will not find me in history. Basically telling me they were crossing her out. But I can't remember who that was. You looked her up, remember?
It was Nefertiti.
Oh, Nefertiti, that's right. It was Nefertiti, that's right. And I thought, Nefari, really? Really? I was like, that's a little too close to home to not be a freaking coincidence. And then when I said, are you Nefertiti? She just looked at me with her big old head, and she's like, like that. I'm like, God. So she likes riddles with me. She talks to me in riddles, like I'm supposed to figure shit out. It's so annoying. Like when she said, "You won't find me in history," that was a riddle of they crossed me out or tried to.
Not literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They tried to literally, but they didn't.
Yeah. Oh, too funny. Oh, we did a whole show on that, Sherry. Somebody's asking who you are to me in a past life. We're good. You'll have to go back and watch that. Somebody find that one and send it to Sherry. That's like 2 hours of a talk. Yeah, that was a while. How did we get on? Oh, did we get on that because I saw that vision of me and you in that Corvette or that car without the top on? Is that how we got onto it?
Well, we've had so many.
I know.
So how can you just...
That was the Ted Bundy show.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it on the Ted Bundy show?
No, it was way before that.
It was before that. It was Easter time. I remember that.
Well, yeah, miscarriage. I mean,
Yeah.
but how many? Yeah, just more than we need a lot of time for that.
Yeah. Patty, I don't think so. I'm just going off of the prints that was printed for me, and we pulled names. That's how we did the reading today, or the show today. So, and I don't see your name on here. But yeah, to answer your question, is there goddesses? Yeah, they're type of galactic beings that held great knowledge. All right, this is in my book, but I'm only going to just touch on it. Jesus knew so much, and people followed him so much because he is galactic, I am galactic, and they followed us. They wanted to learn so much from us because we knew things that weren't of their time, and we were teaching them things that weren't being taught to them at that time. He comes from the Orion's belt, and actually he comes from Orion, and I come from Kalinia, and I've gone to a life on Orion. I just didn't connect to their world like I did with Kalinia, and he's visited mine. He's visited many. I mean, we've been all over, and to get to the point of this kind of knowledge, you have to go many, many places to obtain this knowledge. Do I have any sapphires in our shop? No, we have emerald. I don't think I think we might in the jewelry. I think I might have got one piece in the jewelry, but I have to check.
Yeah,
But basically, with the jewelry pieces, that's going to be next Friday. We're going to post about the big jewelry sale. It's going to be amazing. Is the energy felt in your hands healing energy? It depends on what you're doing. And it depends on each person. So is your hands tingling? Are your hands warming up? Are your hands vibrating? Are your hands ice cold to the touch? It depends on what your hands are trying to do and what you're trying to do with your hands. So that would be more of a deeper question. And Amy, I did answer that question on the live.
What are you looking like that?
Maria's standing beside you.
Oh, hi.
She keeps moving the flower.
You can see her from there.
Kathy, I can't talk about the TV show. There's another one in the works, and I don't know. I have a lot of soul searching to do right now because I don't even know. I know. What was the true purpose of the Bible being made? The Bible being made was to kind of show past lives, to show lives. It's kind of like a history book. They thought it would be kind of like a history book. However, Constantine got a hold of it, somebody else got a hold of it, and it just became their own egotistical book. So they conformed it to their own way of how they wanted the book to be and how they wanted to rule over people. So it got distorted, it got changed, it got ripped apart, pulled apart. There's chapters in there. The Bible, the book itself, was to advance humanity spiritually from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. But however, these beings kept humanity in the intermediate stage of learning. And and that's why I came, that's why Jesus came, is to kind of advance humanity to a better understanding of why they're here, what's their purpose, blah, blah, blah. And somebody asked, who is Maria? Maria is my guide. She guides me on my soul contract. Okay. Right. Choose love and you can be a spiritual badass like Jesus. That's mainly it. I find it very difficult to even, I pick up the Bible and I have to do something spiritual to connect to it, to even teach with it. Because it has been changed, and I know it's been changed because I'm a part of it. And when you get near a Bible and you feel like you want to read it, but you get this pushback, like, I do not want to do this, and you start feeling uneasy and sick, you are remembering what happened to it. You remember how it was changed. Okay, I just read or watched something the other day about how I think it was Constantine and somebody else, I can't remember who the other guy was, they did not like math being taught. They did not like certain things, and they had their armies go and burn all the books. And there's all this history that got burnt up, and there was one area where it was supposed to be, all these documents were supposed to be saved from all the way from like Jesus's time, and they burned. I guess there was some kind of battle, and that whole building got burned up, and all those books, all those transcripts, all those documents gone.
Is that what we saw last night?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What temple was that? It was something. It was at some kind of temple where they kept all of the.
It was in Rome.
Yeah. It was all it was all these documents and all this stuff.
Yes, it was in Rome.
But before that, Constantine and another guy had their armies go out and burn all this stuff.
Yes.
Because they didn't want anybody. They wanted everybody to follow their way and not. Listen,
they wanted them to stay in their own bubble. Their bubble.
You
the
have
bubble they
right.
wanted.
You have to be super narcissistic and egotistical.
Yeah.
To go and delete what God has put forth.
It's
you
control, though.
You are seriously going to deal with God when you go back.
It was a control. It was a control-ish reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was serious. It was the Romans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Roman Empire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. It was.
Yep.
Yeah. It was the Romans that tried to do that.
Yep.
Knowing this, Jesus came to try to change that, to try to get this information out before it got too lost. And then when he did do that, and it was put into the Bible with all his apostles, me including, then again, somebody egotistical got their hands on it and
Changed it.
tried to change it and delete it. And now, now we're coming into the body again to try to teach this stuff. And I love that back then it was just paper and pen and ink. Now we've got video, and it can't be deleted. Well, I've had my videos deleted before by somebody breaking into my account and trying to delete videos. But I back everything up onto my computer. They can't delete that. And then I go to YouTube and put the videos there. Yeah.
You have the best thing, social media.
Yeah, and we didn't have that back then.
No.
So
it was easy to get a hold of and destroy.
Yeah, whereas paper was very easy to burn.
Yes.
And all this stuff is backed up on my computer, so if something happens to me, Yvonne will get some kind of tech person
I will
and
get
be
a
like,
tech person.
put all this on a hard drive, so
it
in
to
case we
Marcella.
need to go back to her teachings and need to put this out on a book or something, it's there.
there.
So, yeah. No, Shannon, it's not a portal behind the ear. It's a switch behind the ear to pull the veil literally off of Earth. It's a switch. And there's only a few of us that know that switch is there, and we're not to touch it until if we do it all. It's kind of like, okay, Maria's using the when the president, okay, so the president has a key, and the head of, I don't know, national security has a key, and they have to turn the key at the same time to have like something launch off. It's the same thing with the mechanism behind the Sphinx ear. It pulls the veil off. So there's like 3 of us that have to turn the key
At the same time.
or shoot off a vibration at the same time to have that go off. And we're not to do that. And, the president isn't just going to willy-nilly do that either. He has to have like the red flag to go and do it. But, what crystals am I holding? I'm holding rose quartz, carnelian, and fluorite. I gotta get my nails done. They're driving me nuts. I hate when they get like this.
You don't know how fast they grow. Do you have that done?
I know, right? And then underneath, I'm like, oh, look at my nail.
I know.
And then you can't pull it off because they're too weak. Oh, it's like a cycle.
So thin
It's such a
underneath.
bad cycle.
It's a no-win.
Just take my money, fix them. Kateri Brenna. It's because the veil is slowly thinning out, spirituality is kicking up, and there's a lot of souls here that are not advanced spiritually. They're still like little toddlers, little babies to their spirituality of learning, and they're stomping their feet because they don't want this to happen. They do not want people advancing and getting higher in their enlightenment. They just don't want it because they know it's going to change everything, and they don't want it. Amy Brown, I answered it on the show. You can watch this later and watch for the answer. So, well, I have to do the nail cycle, Patty, because we're doing the jewelry show. So it's kind of like I have to. Plus, if I don't, I'll bite my fingernails really bad because that's just me. Okay. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Miss, I have to play with my hair because I'm tired.
What do you think I should do?
Wait, why don't you eat your salad?
I'm not hungry.
No? I know, me neither. I think that tomato sauce really did me in yesterday.
I don't think it was tomato sauce.
Whew, I don't know what it was then. I really like
Are you
the
still
zucchini.
feeling sick?
No, not like earlier today.
I think a lot of it's your
I could
nerves, too.
not get the tomato garlic taste out of my mouth. It was killing me all night. I'm like,
It was
I'm
just
gonna
too much
vomit.
garlic for you.
Yeah. Oh, Justin ate it right up. There's still some of it in the little thing.
Oh yeah, he'll like it. So what should we talk about?
When can we speak with Nafari again? Well, what do you want to know, Rebecca? She's always here. Shannon, you be correct on that, yes. Because they are, okay. Maria just told me what we can talk about. Because she just went from the animals being a race. Okay, so remember we were watching about the Tower of Babel?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
the Tower of Babel, I kept telling you, I'm sitting there going, oh dear God. I love watching these shows because Maria's critiquing them, first off. She's like a critic. She's like, well, that's wrong. She's like, and I go, well, why do you say that's wrong? And then she goes, tell Yvonne to mute it. so I had to tell Yvonne to pause the show.
You go mute it.
I go, Yvonne, pause it. And she goes, what? And I go, okay, the Tower of Babel. So I'm sitting here getting frustrated. So I hate these shows because I can't chime in and go, okay, yeah, that's wrong. It's like,
Oh yeah, you can chime in anytime.
so I'm like sitting there chiming in and I go, pause it. She goes, what? I go, okay. The Tower of Babel was a portal. It wasn't something that was kind of like shimmied and shifted and built. It was spiritually built, but it wasn't built by man, I guess, in a way. So this Tower of Babel was a makeshift from the other side to Earth. And it wasn't the other side. It was basically, okay, so think of like a travel hub. Like if you're going to go on a plane somewhere and take a train or whatever, you're in a little travel hub waiting for your flight, okay? So there's all these races from different galaxies, and they're getting ready to come to Earth because of several reasons. Well, one, the planet of Eden had been destroyed. So you have the planet of Eden here already, and they're cultivating the land, and they're learning from everything, and they're here, and they're using vibration to lift big boulders and these big huge rocks, and they're using vibration to pick this stuff up and move it and carve people looking things out of them. So, and the pyramids and all this stuff. Okay, so they're using all this vibration to make all this stuff, and they're helping beings that were already here. So these galactic beings were helping humanity, if you want to call it humanity. Okay, so then the planet of Eden was started mixing with the people that were already here, and they were making babies with their DNA, and this is where you get the, what is it, the negative RH extra DNA strand. So that kind of started. Now we're up in the 12 to 13 strands that scientists can't figure out where these extra strands of DNA are coming from. And this is because of all these races are like, I'm an extra DNA, so if me and Justin mate, which we did, and we had Leo, but Leo didn't make it, Leo would have had the extra strands of DNA basically because I come from the galactic lands. So he would have had the extra spiritual DNA. So basically it was a spiritual hub that brought all of these races here at once, and they couldn't, well, obviously they couldn't understand each other because they all had different languages to themselves. So then you have these beings that are trying to communicate with one another. The lights. And this is where you have branching off from languages. So let's say you have a race that was using a language to communicate from their planet, and eventually down the road, through generation ended up becoming French. But it wasn't their language, it was contorted and conformed to French then. Do you see? Because you have to imagine, this is thousands of years, 10, 20, 30,000 years later, that language is going to get, okay, Maria's using an example. You know when you say something to somebody, and then, like, let's say for example, I grow dandelions, and then by the time it gets to the 8th person, they'll say, Christina eats dandelions and roses. So what I had originally said, eventually down the line gets contorted.
We did that in the classroom one time. The teacher had said something to the first person.
Okay.
We all had to get in a line. And by the time it got to the end, it had absolutely nothing to do with what she originally said.
This is what I mean.
She wrote it on a piece of paper, exactly word for word, verbatim what she said. Till it got to the end of the class, not even in the same church.
That's hysterical.
It was totally off the charts, opposite.
Yeah, that was, yeah. And I think whoever did this whole Babylon Tower thing, which, I mean, I can see, is these humans were trying to figure out how did all these people, so they had to come up with a story of how these people came here, because they couldn't, in their time, understand what the hell's this light and why are all these people here now? Like, what is going on? So, and then the church kind of twisted it that God was angry and destroyed their tower and gave them different languages. No, what? I'm sorry, no.
Which makes,
yeah.
What you just said makes way more sense than the other one.
Right. It was a travel hub. It was to bring all these races that no longer could be on these different planets, and they wanted to learn from this area. It was kind of like, you win a ticket, and you win a ticket, like, you know, on Oprah, you win a car,
lottery.
You win a car, and you get a car. It was kind of like that, like, you get a ticket to Earth, you get a ticket to Earth. So all these people are getting excited, all these galactic beings from all these different places are getting excited to go to this one place to learn from it. And they kind of did go off to their own areas. So you got like the dark-skinned ones that had a different language. Go to Africa. Okay, so that's a whole lineage there, which branched off and created, and you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. So is that what the Bible is now? It started as one thing. Yeah, and people over time changed it. Can you imagine how many times the Bible has been rewritten, changed in different languages? I mean, come on now. Eventually down the road, these stories are going to get twisted and changed, and that's what I'm trying to fix with my book. Raven asks, you're one of the only mediums I trust. Can you speak about the ethics of readings? Okay, so when it comes to a reading, if you get a reading, you want to do research. So when you're researching their website, their YouTube channel, if they have one, if they have Instagram, if they have Facebook, you want to see what people are saying about them. You also should be allowed to talk to their clients. Like I tell people, go. I mean, you see the hippie tribe, you see how many people have gotten readings, go talk to them. Ask them how their reading was, what they thought of it, blah, blah, blah. If they don't allow you to have a recorder, a writing utensil to write notes, or to videotape it or record it in some way, there's something wrong there. They're hiding something. You should be able to record it in some fashion. If they're like suddenly possessed and they're on the floor barking and they're saying, I'm your dead grandmother, get the hell out of the room. Okay? Get the hell out of the room. I do channeling, but it's very calm and the message is usually very positive. Now, I don't channel your loved ones, but sometimes I will do like a mannerism, because I've done this before where I remember one reading, it was probably about 2 years ago. I can't believe this is popping in my mind because I can't believe I'm remembering it. But I was sitting like a certain way, like how he would have, and I kept going like this and touching my face, and she goes, why do you keep doing that? I go, doing what? She goes, that, like your mannerisms. And I go, I don't know why. Are you okay? And she goes, my dad did exactly what you're just doing. So sometimes they'll use my body to kind of push through and say, I'm here, and I'm showing you mannerisms, like, or if I'm like doing like something I wouldn't normally do, maybe I'm doing this with my hair, and the client goes, my daughter used to do that with her hair. Like, why are you doing that? And I'll say, oh, they sometimes will use my body. But I'm not going to go on the floor and go, I'm your grandmother. Like,
listen to me.
Get the hell out of that fucking room. Don't look back. Okay? If you have a medium popping up and saying, I don't know, there's so many ethics. Okay. If you have some random person going, I see this, and this about you, and they're inboxing you, eventually down the road, it's just a gimmick to try to get you to pay for future stuff. So kind of test that out. If you're getting random emails from psychics and they're giving you like a novel of like, oh, your astrology, blah, 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 that's a gimmick to get you to pay something. It's fake. What's another good one?
Just using your gut instinct.
Yeah, use your gut instinct. If you're being pulled to them, figure out why. Always do your research. I tell people to even do it on me. I don't care. I don't know if they're teaching something and you're like, I don't know. Like I had somebody say the other day that they were following this person. They thought they were really good, and then just one day they started talking about Lucifer, and he's just basically an angel, but they kept getting a really bad feeling like, I can't watch this anymore. That's usually your guide saying there's something going on with them, like they pulled you in somehow and then something went haywire. So one told me my daughter's father was showing her he's irritated for thinking of him every night, and okay, yeah, that's not, no.
They would never say.
No. Loved ones do not get irritated, they do not get angry at the living, they do not get these symptoms. Your loved one is an all-knowing being who's free from the human body, free from the human experience. They'll come down to a medium's level, a true connected medium, to their level, and they will have to show me who they were. So they might show me like how they passed, what their name is, maybe give me some kind of dates, what kind of personality they had, but they won't say negative stuff that would cause you anguish in any way. I have never had messages like this. The message is always positive. So if you're getting like this negative crap, like all of a sudden you have a medium that says, I see Friday and something bad's gonna happen Friday to you, and then they don't elaborate. Okay, something's wrong there. Okay, okay, what's gonna happen Friday? Why are you getting so negative about it? Give me some more detail. And they don't give you any more detail. Shut it down. They're trying to yank your chain, get you to keep coming back. Okay, just you gotta watch. I don't know. What's another one?
To me, when people walk in the shop, they just say when they walk in, it's so peaceful, calm, and
Yeah, that's another
and
thing.
bright. And if I remember, this one lady said she walked in. Well, she came to our shop and she was to another place where there was a medium. And when she walked in, it was so dark, and the stuff that she was selling, the merchandise was just, she felt was dark, and just she had a bad feeling when she walked in there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Usually mediums have a lot of light stuff around them because they're dealing with, your guides, your angels, whatnot. So that the area should have crystals and be light and airy. You shouldn't feel heavy and weighed down when you go in. It shouldn't be dark and spooky and scary. Now there is mediums that have to read in the dark. For some reason the connection with them is more darker.
Right.
But you shouldn't feel uneasy, like what the hell did I just walk into kind of thing.
And this wasn't in her in where she did the readings.
This was
just
her
in the
actual shop. Yeah.
And
if the shop is dark and you're looking around going, what the hell is going on in here?
some of the walls were painted black, and she said
Yeah,
she
no.
just
That's not a lighted being. They're
No.
not using connection with light at all.
if I walked into another medium shop, I think I would be more aware of what they were selling. Look at the merchandise, just get the feel of how I feel in there.
And we've been when we went to Salem.
Yes.
We went to a lot of metaphysical shops, and I
Yes.
have to honestly say, ours is the most
Light,
unique,
bright, yeah,
light,
different.
bright.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that because I was like,
It's more-
and everyone we've gone into, it was like dark, mysterious, and I'm like, okay, is this like a cliche? Like metaphysical is supposed to be dark and cliche, and it shouldn't be.
No.
Why are you making it like that?
Ours is
That's
more-
why so many people are like, I don't want to fucking go in that shop, and I think metaphysical is full of
Right.
shit because they're making it look like that.
They're making it look
Yeah.
like that, and the way the way the shop. I don't know. Ours is more. I don't want to say.
Yeah, ours is
angelic,
very
but
bright and airy. Yes, Rebecca, you guys would have cords to us, me and Yvonne, yes, because you're finding your way here, so the cord's guiding you to us, yes, of course. I had a woman approach me in the parking lot when I was going through a rough time saying she was a psychic. Beverly, I would say based off of what she said, you would use your own inner compass to say, okay, I don't like that she did that, and I don't like what she said. But if she had something positive to tell you, to kind of uplift you out of your rough time, then that's somebody that's connected. That's their guide pulling them.
again, it's just
Like
using
prime
your
example,
instinct.
I don't like doing public readings. Like, I don't just randomly go up to people. I think it's just rude. But if Maria pulls me like severe, like I saw a lady have a panic attack. She was having a panic attack. Walmart was gonna call an ambulance. I grabbed my goldstone out of my bra and I wiped it really good. All those love juices off there. And I handed it to her. I said, just give it 10 minutes. It'll work. I promise you. Never gave her my name. Just gave her my goldstone and walked away. But the only time I did that was, and it was because I was forced, basically. I was eating breakfast, and the person I was with was like, they were help. I don't know. I don't want to get into details, but they were basically like, what do you get off of that person? So I'm sitting there, and I kept seeing this kid, and he was in an RV accident. His head got, I'm not going to get into details, whatever. So he kept saying, go over and tell her, go tell her what you know. And I didn't know this, but apparently he knew the lady and knew of her son. So what I had gotten, he had confirmed and said, yes, you are right. Just go tell her. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with this. But obviously there was a pull to go do that. So when I went and told her what I saw, I said, I don't normally do this. I feel really embarrassed that I'm doing this, but I keep seeing a kid around you, and he keeps saying you're a worrywart, and I believe this is your son. He was in an RV accident, and she started like freaking out, not angrily, but freaking out. And she ended up searching for me on Facebook and inboxed me and said, "Thank you for coming up to me. That was my son, and today was my birthday." So,
Yeah. So that was
but
meant to
I
be.
still feel very uneasy doing stuff like that.
You
I really don't like it. Because I feel like you're pushing something onto somebody that isn't ready for it. They're getting blindsided, and they're sitting there going, "What the just happened?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't
No.
know how people will react.
Yeah. I bet there's a market for boob crystals. Yeah, it's in my shop. Look, I have like a crap load of them. Oh my god. Booby crystals, come to the shop and get them.
Come one, come along.
Booby crystals, and pack them in there. You can get at least 5 in each. Just round about it, make it a little canvas of crystal boobies. Oh dear God. Just don't put this in there. Now,
Unless
you
you
can.
want the third one.
This is going in a direction I didn't think it was going to go, so we're just going to shut that out. Shut it down. Macy, don't look at me like that. Look how cute he
I know. Look at
is. Macy, Mommy loves you.
He's enjoying this.
What you doing, Bubby Boo? What are you doing?
He's so enjoying this.
What are you doing? I thought Mommy go Popeyes. I go Popeyes. Want to go Popeyes with Mommy? You know why I do that? Because his ears go up and goes, hmm?
They did though. He's so vegan.
We should make a crystal bra. Oh dear God. Time for a bigger bra. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's right. We should make a crystal bra.
No, you know what that's just gonna do is make. Do you remember when you were videotaping me and I was trying to suck in my gut and
Oh
my
my
boobs
God.
come out and I was like.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Stop doing that," because you couldn't videotape me. You're laughing so hard.
couldn't.
It's gonna be like that. You're gonna have all these crystals and your boobs are gonna be like, "Meow, meow."
They're gonna be out there.
You want to make your boobs look bigger? There you go.
Fill them
Oh
up. with
my
crystals.
God. Too funny.
Crystal boobies.
Okay, it's just the Hippie Tribe. I haven't really launched that page yet, but you guys can find it on my page. There's a link that says owner of. You know how you can see the jobs, like owner of the crystal shop. But there's a link to the Hippie Tribe page. I just haven't launched it yet. I don't even think we have a cover photo for it.
No.
I just kind of created it and then forgot about it. So
Well, you can
it's
forget about it.
basically,
It's been so busy.
yeah,
and just-
it's been crazy busy.
You're constantly doing other things. Yeah, but we know they're out there.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think crystals in your boobs would probably make your boobs sag eventually. Or no, they would prop them up, huh?
I would hope if you.
I feel
depends
like
on where you put them.
this boob's bigger than this one because I just keep stacking them in there like they're books.
You can use them
Let
to
me see. I'm
enhance
gonna
them.
go with fluorite today.
Up
Let me read
underneath,
fluorite.
You know, just perk them puppy up.
Just it's like this in my bra. It's like books. Just rose quartz. Let me see. Just stacking them in there.
Oh my God.
It's like, you know what it reminds me of, like Netflix, or not Netflix, you go to like Giant Eagle and you rent a movie,
Yeah.
and it takes it out and it's like, and I'm done with the carnelian. Next. Rose quartz.
Next.
I know, right?
Keep going.
Oh my God. I always stay after the radio show, Sherry, all the time. Okay. Kateri says, one time when I was watching your live videos, I heard someone in the background, and I seriously thought I was hearing your guide. Yeah, they talk. I mean, we get all kinds of things. People behind me. You'll see Maria, maybe sometimes you'll... What's up, Maxie? You look hot, buddy. Are you hot? Are you hot? Oh.
I think he needs to stretch.
Come here, look. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come see mommy. Come here.
He's stubborn.
Come here. I know he's such a brat. Come on. Come on. Macy, come here. Come. 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 Oh my God. I'm offering him my cup and he's just looking at me like I'm an idiot.
You want him to. Leave him alone. He'll
I
come
want him
over.
to come over so I snuggle with him.
I know you
I
do.
want to
but
snuggle with him. Macy, come snuggle.
He's not feeling it.
I know, look at him. He's so mad at me right now. He's
I
like,
know,
you
it's
didn't
like-
comfort me towards the thunderstorm, you jerk. No, because they say not to come. I did do Reiki on him. And I think at one point he was just like, what is that? And then he stopped thinking about the thunder. And he stopped shaking. And then he heard the thunder and it started up again. I'm like, oh my God, I can't win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maxie, I go get you. He looks like a long hot dog.
I know he does. A long blonde. hot dog.
Long blonde. I was gonna say that. Good God. Too funny. Yeah. Okay, what do we talk about? Or are we done?
I don't know.
What time is it?
Almost 10. 9:52.
Oh, that's early. I can't believe all I ate today was fiber bread.
That's good. That filled you out.
Mm-hmm.
But you weren't feeling good, so that's all you needed.
Yeah.
That's why.
Eden is sick. She's had the flu, I guess. So is Justin.
I've known a couple people who've had it.
Yeah, we should make a crystal vest for dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier on another live feed, if I can remember. We did, right? I think we did.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, so I can't stop thinking about that.
Thinking about what?
That video of that guy we were watching today.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so I have to tell you guys, this is hysterical. I couldn't stop thinking. I couldn't stop laughing. I can't remember his last name. His name is Matt. He's gay. He's hysterical, and he does these funny videos where he drinks in the middle of the day, and then just like he'll say like
He has a subject that he talks
he talks about a subject. So like this one that we watched today was why bachelorettes parties are the worst, or he'll say like why pineapple pizza is the worst, and he'll just ramble on for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
And it's hysterical. So the very first thing he talks about on the bachelorette party was all these bachelorettes have these firemen showing up, taking off their clothes. Last time I had a fireman at my apartment, he was yelling at me. He was yelling at me because I was trying to burn a marshmallow over my pumpkin Yankee candle. I just like lost it.
Oh my God, he's hilarious.
I was like, oh my God, I could totally imagine him with like a little stick and his little marshmallow over his Yankee candle. Oh my God.
Oh, he is hilarious.
Oh my God, the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I'm just like, what?
It's unedited, trust me. It's unedited.
It is so completely hilarious. Oh, too funny.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's definitely a true comedian.
Yeah, he definitely gets raw about it. Like the first video we watched was about dating.
Oh my God.
Or
that
no,
was
the dating apps. Why
dating
dating
app.
apps are the worst.
Oh, jeez.
I was
let your
losing it.
imagination run with you with that.
I was losing it.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Oh yeah, remember the one part where he was like, why do you tell people that you're taller than you are when you show up and you look like a hobbit? I lost it. I was like, oh God.
He said so dang much. Where does he
The
come up
Hobbit
with
jumped
that?
out at me, and he's like, oh, and then he's like, and all of our, like, he goes, and all of us gay men, we know what. Wait, who's the guy from Harry Potter, the old guy?
I have never watched it.
Oh, why am I going blank right now? The old guy with the long white beard. Oh, what is his name? Guys, help me out.
Oh, I Harry Potter fan will help you out.
It's on the tip of my tongue too, and I can't think of it.
I keep saying Sir Anthony. I don't know why.
Dumbledore. He goes, and we all know what Dumbledore's dick looks like. Like, oh God.
Oh, you have, like I said, it's on that.
It's like, oh my God.
I'm like, he's
This
really
guy's
saying that.
It's like one of those things that if you're having a bad day,
Put
you're
him
not
on.
going to be anymore.
Throw him on and you're going to be laughing.
Oh, he did one about birds. It wasn't as funny, but it was hysterical when he got to the Harry Potter bird. Hedwig and why he died. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
He'll make you laugh if you
yeah,
want.
why birds are the worst was the one.
I just like to know how he comes up with these things.
And he goes, and why are their poops white? Racist. I was like, and then he was like, and the ugly duckling was black. Hello? Racist? I was like, oh my God. I couldn't take it today. He had me laughing so
He did
bad.
make us laugh, though.
Oh, I gotta get his last name. I should just post one of his videos. But I don't want people like taking it out of connotation, but
Right.
it's funny.
It
You
is.
have to laugh at humanity at some points.
You have to laugh, and that's a good way of
I
making
think
you
the
laugh.
I think the dating app was probably the funniest one.
That was the funniest
Yeah,
one.
I have to post
Yeah.
that.
That was definitely the funniest
His name's Matt something.
one. Yeah, I don't remember what his last name.
Yeah, well, I can't look on my phone because I'm using the phone to record, but I screenshotted. I'm a fan of his. Like, I've been following his stuff, and every so often I'll get like a notification, and I got one today, and I'm like, oh my God, we have to watch more of him. So we started going through his videos. The second one was like birds. The third one was the Bachelorette part. Oh, I lost it when he said about the firemen. I'm like, oh my God, what? Who the hell marshmallows over a Yankee Candle?
Obviously, he does.
Oh, I can't take it. Oh, he's really funny. And it's all in good fun because he does say at the end, he's like, you know, this is all just for
Yeah,
fun.
it's all in fun, is right.
Yeah. Oh, the other one was why straight people's weddings are the worst. And then he goes through this whole schmeal of like how he's gay and why do you have to do this or do that, like about the female and male
Oh.
topper. What are you throwing it in my face? That you're male and female? And then he goes into this whole like baby gender thing. He's like, why do you have to know your baby's gender? Why are you fixating on that? Oh, he's hysterical.
You have to watch it to appreciate it.
It's hysterical. No, it's not Matthew Hussey. It's like Bastellery.
I don't remember it.
Basteller. I'm butchering his name. I have to look it up. I'll have to post it. He is a trip. He's a trip. I can't take
You'll
it.
enjoy him.
I cannot take it. He was hysterical. And he does shows. He is like an actual comedian, but I don't know.
So what are they saying? Nothing?
No,
They're
they're
pretty quiet.
saying they love to laugh.
Oh, they'll laugh. All right.
Oh yeah, you almost pee. It was
That's a definite.
hysterical today. I had to have that today because I had to keep my mind off of some stuff, but
And it worked.
it did until I got in my car.
It
I was right back
went
to it.
south again, didn't it?
It all went south from there.
I was actually thinking that on my way when I left. I'm thinking, she's gonna probably get depressed again. She's in her car by herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little depressed. I don't know. We'll see.
You'll work through it.
Yeah. Well, that reading I did with the charms, hello? You see how many charms are in my freaking bowl, right? And my initials CW come right out. Like, really? And then on here, let me grab. On the C, let me see if I can find the W. Okay, I am getting kind of hungry. Okay, so, just out of nowhere, I'm just going to mention that. CW, the 3 and the 4, that's me and Yvonne's number. And then Y, her first initial came up in the reading. Like, really?
And the Y came.
Yeah, the
With
Y.
the number 4.
With the number 4 to it. And didn't I say that's your number? Or wait. Your number's the 4, mine's the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, you are the 4, I'm the 3. Okay. But, yeah. Out of this whole thing, my initials and her initial came out. I couldn't believe it.
It was validation of what we were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
big
know.
time.
Oh, I am getting kind of hungry. But not like for like food. I don't know. Like maybe cereal or something. Yeah, I watch The Office religiously. Probably way too much. I've probably seen those episodes like in the 200s.
Oh, yeah.
That, and I watch Orville. I really like Orville. It's funny. Family Guy, but I only go to certain episodes, like the Star Wars episodes, or when Stewie's like doing like his like dimension, ultimate dimension reality time travel escapes. Like I like that one. He's a baby that created a time machine, and he goes back in time. Those are the only episodes I go back to. I love them. Yeah. I don't know what to talk about. Oh, I think I just broke this. I don't know what to talk about next week on the show.
Think about it and see what happens through the week. That will give us the idea to do it. That's usually what happens.
Okay, I fixed it.
Something happens during the
Catch.
week or something. What?
You fell for it.
I know. I won't again.
I did have a crystal. I just didn't throw it. Oh, my face is itchy. Oh, Nicole says she likes Lucy. I love Lucy. Nom nom nom. Shannon, it just means that your soul's elevated and you're just what?
He heard you yell.
Did you think somebody was at the door? Nobody at the door, Mac. Oh, don't you huffy puffy at me. Did you see him? He goes,
I saw.
grumpy butt.
It's like, really?
Why are you staring at me like that?
Because
Stop
you
it.
really interrupted his nap.
Who? Maxie, who? Who are
Maxie?
you? He is so grumpy with me right now. Look at his face.
Well, you're bothering him, and all he wants to do is just lay there and
Aw,
chill.
Maxie, if you lay on me, I give you snuggles. Come on. And the air's on me.
Crazy or what?
I know, look at him. Yeah,
He's not feeling it.
I know. Lay down. Go sleep. He just winked at me. Are you winking at me? Are you trying to get fresh? Is this where that's going? Maxie, shut it down. I don't go that way. He looked away like, I know. I can't take it.
He knows.
Maxie, you're hysterical. He just winked at me again. You have to come over. No, seriously, you have to come
No,
over
I
here. He's
believe you.
winking at me.
We're
You
waiting
get
on
fresh?
her.
Maxie, don't get fresh from me. It's not going there. You ain't getting treats
Look
either.
how heavy he's breathing.
I know.
It's like his head's gonna plop down here soon because it's getting too
Maxie, I'm
heavy.
gonna
to hold
get your
up.
squeaky.
Oh.
Yeah, I got your squeaky, and it's disgusting. I'm gonna vomit.
Oh.
Come here. I gotta get you. Oh, you come here. You come here. You
He
come here.
doesn't want to, does
You
he?
come here. I want to love you. I want to love. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say I'm just so cutesy.
Oh, yeah. He's thinking, oh, dear God.
I know.
Oh, dear
He's like,
God.
dear godmother, could you not? I love you, though. I love you too much. You're like a person.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you are. You're like a person. You want to play with your squeaky? Mommy play squeaky? Want to play squeaky? You want to play squeakers? What do you think? Ready? I'm going to get the squeaky. I'm going to get him. He's at your squeaky. I love when he plays because all you hear is squeak, 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 squeak. All right, Maxie, go ahead. Get your butt. Lori, why some of my videos from YouTube? Okay. How do I explain this? This is part of the soul searching I'm going through, Lori. She's asking why some of my videos off of YouTube are... They're not removed, they're still there, but she thinks they're gone. But I put them to private. It's because, yeah.
Because that's not you right now.
Oh, no. I was asked by my producer to go through all of my videos and not mention anything about Galactic. She thought it would scare off the networks because they're not ready for it. Anything with like Galactic, the Bible, religion. So what we did was we put the videos to private because she felt the networks weren't going to be accepting of it. And I'm on this soul searching path of I need to be me. And if a network picks me up because they know that I'm being me, this is why one of the reasons why I kept pushing the show away from me. I couldn't be myself. And I have an opportunity to be myself, and I have to do some really strong soul searching. Like, I know you guys are going like all wacky about the shows, and everybody loves the, everybody loves hearing about the TV show and when's it going to air, what network's it going to be on, how can I see it. And honestly, guys, if I can't, I don't know. I'm just really struggling. I'm really struggling, and this is why I turned down the TV show 4 other times with 4 different producers, because they either wanted me to act or they didn't want me to be myself. And I'm starting to see this is how TV is, and I can't be anything other than myself. I don't know how to be other than myself. And I'm just really struggling right now because I do have an opportunity to be able to expand what I'm doing, have fun doing it, meet new amazing people. And I'm just really soul searching right now because there's my show where I can get the messages out, but also hide who I am while I'm doing it. And then there's this other show where I get to explore different areas and travel and be who I am, because I feel like the person I'm going to be doing it with is open like I am and has confessed to me his own knowledge of my world, and I was very drawn to him, and I think he's amazing. I don't want to talk about who he is yet. We had a long talk, and I felt very connected to him because I felt like, oh, there's somebody just sort of like me who gets it. And I feel like I wish I would have known him years ago when he was going through his transitioning and understanding of what earth is and what heaven is. And I wish I would have been able to help him through that, because he said he felt like he couldn't tell anybody because he didn't think anybody would believe him. And I went through that as well, at first. But I don't know, I'm just really struggling. And I have these 2 paths, and and they're being presented. Both of them are supposed to play out. I just don't know how this is going to happen, because you can't have 2 shows kind of going on at the same time. So, and I really don't think that they're going to go on at the same time. I really do think I'm going to do one, and then the other one's just going to branch off from the other one. So I'm kind of just going with the flow and seeing how that plays out. So, yeah. So that's kind of what's been going on. I've been kind of just stressed out about some stuff because this one path, I do want to see where it goes, and I'm excited about it, but I don't want to dissipate the other path because I know it's supposed to go somewhere. And I was told, that, after that path plays out, I'll be able to express who I am, because I'll have all the old videos to be able to go public to show that, hey, I've been talking about who I am way before these shows even took place. But, so, I don't know. Justin has fun with it, though. Oh, another thing is, guys, if you guys are going to the YouTube channel, if you are subscribing to my YouTube channel, and you're seeing all these videos that aren't coming to Facebook, but they're going to the YouTube, that's really not for you guys technically. It's for the network. They're called show reels. It's to show the networks who we are, or the network who we are. And so if you guys are seeing like all these videos and they're repeating themselves and you're like, wait, that one just posted, it's not a duplicate. We're basically cutting and editing certain things so it pops up again. So if you see something like that where it looks like I'm being interviewed, or Justin and me are getting interviewed, or Eden's getting interviewed, that's what it is. That's what that is. So, and like, you know, tours of the shop, that's also for them as well. So I had somebody comment like, this one was already posted. Okay, again, it's not for you. That's why it says show reel, and it's for the networks. But yeah, but that's what's going on, because it's the only way we were able to get the videos that were put onto a platform was to throw it onto the YouTube, and the only way they can get to it is through public, not private. So we had to put them public. So if you guys are seeing those, just dismiss them. I mean, you can watch them, but just dismiss them. They're not anything for you guys. So yeah, they're for the show. But that's it, guys. Yeah, Justin's video is awesome. I was kind of put into an acting position on that one. There was probably different things I probably would have said, but yeah, it did turn out good. It was actually very comical. But there's some things I would have said that probably would have been super funny, but they have a way of doing those things. So again, I'm not really an actress, so it's kind of hard for me to like go with what somebody wants me to do. It's hard. I'll do it, but you know. What the hell was that? Maxie, no. I think there's a skunk outside. So yeah, I'm just really soul searching right now because I need to be who I am. But when it comes to my show's a little different. It's going to bigger networks, and they aren't really open to religion and politics and all this galactic stuff. I mean, I think that some of them might be to the galactic stuff, because now we're getting into, you know, it's becoming more of a norm here that, okay, we're not alone. Humans are not alone. We are coming, my producer didn't want me mentioning anything about being a walk-in. She thought it would scare them off. And I see her point to a point, but I feel like there's going to be networks going, no, that's interesting. We like that. I think that would be interesting. But I'm going along with it because Maria put it in front of me again for the 5th time. And I'm going along with it because obviously she wants me to get these messages out on a grander scale, and I have to go along with whatever till I can get out there and then be able to conform and put these messages out and be who I am. So it's just taking time. Honestly, I just enjoy doing this. I'm fine with just doing this, but Maria has put it before me several times, and I can't just go, okay, well, I'm not going to push it away again. So yeah, I'm not an actress. I mean, that's just me. But I don't know. Yeah, Kathy, that's how I feel about everything. D, I'm gonna go along with what Maria has me doing. I know you said don't sign a very long contract, but if she has me signing one, I'm just gonna have to go along with it. So I don't know. For right now, I don't know. Yeah. Angela, yeah, it depends on the soul learning. It just depends. Yeah, I've been struggling with this for a while. Yvonne knows. She's been like on this journey for a while with me. She just rolled her eyes.
From the beginning of it.
From the very beginning of it. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how all this producing stuff really works. Like, because I can't come into this and go, I know everything about it. I don't. You know, just because I'm a teacher of spirituality doesn't mean that I'm a teacher of producing. So, you know, I'm trying to follow direction, but it's hard when humanity can't be open to things and then I have to hide who I am while I'm doing it all. It's frustrating. No, you're not getting skunky. Don't play with that skunky. Look. Play with that skunky. Not going outside. You're not chasing skunkies outside. No. Stop looking at me like that, like you want out. Not doing it. No. What did that say? You should do magazines to send it your fan club. Andre, what do you mean, honey? Amanda, I know I thought about that too, but you guys do know me, so I think that you guys will be fine. I'm gonna take this off. I feel like the phone's getting too hot. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, Yvonne?
On what?
On everything.
They're all over the place.
That's all you have to say.
They are, but they're not.
You could be the teacher in the lesson of the fifth time, for the fifth time. You could be the teacher to the lesson for the fifth time. Angela, I don't know what you mean by that. I keep turning it down because I don't want it. Maria keeps pushing it into my face because she wants it.
I said, let it be. What will happen, and just go into business and just go with it.
Raven, I know the show can open up humanity up more, but it's kind of like when the Bible was changed and you guys were all stuck in the immediate stage of learning. Had you guys had the actual Bible with the real contents of its learning, then you would have been advanced as a human being. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm the original Bible trying to get it out, and I feel like I'm being tampered with in the process, and it's hard. Magazine fan club spirituality of your shop news in the spirit world. Oh, honey, we already have that. It's not a magazine. It's actually a campaign that goes to your email, and you can go on the websites and subscribe to that. It's crystalcovespa.com or thedivinemedium.com. Like, the ones who don't know, I feel like will be the negative people, and well, they'll see these live feeds. I promised myself from this point on I was not going to delete or remove any videos, and what will be.
This is what you get. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, this is what you get. Because if that show's meant to be, they're gonna take me as a galactic walk-in or not.
Right.
So I keep feeling I'm just comfortable with my little shop, me and Yvonne, and the live shows that we do, and the iHeart radio show. I'm fine with I've been fine with how things. I'd like to get back to readings. That's the only thing that I'm struggling with, and I feel like these things are kind of stopping me from doing that because I'm afraid. Ooh, Kathy, I'm gonna remove that word because that's not allowed on my show. I'm sorry, honey. But wait, what was I saying?
About the readings.
Yeah, I'd like to do the readings, but we're afraid to schedule, and then something happened with one of the shows, and then I gotta cancel everybody. It's a nightmare, and I don't want to do it. Yeah. It's a struggle, but yeah. But yeah, that new path that kind of opened up, I'm just flabbergasted by it, and just kind of seeing and kind of hoping that it kind of plays out, because it'd be interesting. And then I feel like that's gonna take off, and then my show will branch off of that, and I'll be able to be more like myself than I would have been right now. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
One day at a time.
If Eden's live right now, it's probably because she's with my sister. So, it's okay, Kathy. You're fine. I would say in Jesus' name. That's what I do. But she used the A word.
I sort of figured that's what she used.
Yeah. Actually, Misty, there's a thing that I use on my hair. It's called Coco and Eve. It's really good. Look them up. it's Cocoa and Eve conditioner, or some kind of, it's like a leave-in conditioner. You leave it in your hair for 10 minutes and then, yeah, that's why my hair, it looks a little stringy right now, but that's why my hair is so, it looks soft. Oh, Katera, it's my charm container. These are all my charm, I do charm readings, so I'm playing with my charms. Saberic, yeah. Yeah, anytime I have to go to like a funeral or a wedding or something and they're saying the A word, I'm just like, la la la. I don't hear you, blah 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 blah. Like when Justin's grandmother died and they were I'm just like, I kept going like this, like I was doing this with my ears so I couldn't hear it. And they were probably like, what is wrong with her? Is her ears itchy or what? I just kept doing it.
Because you can hear it.
Yeah. When will things change for human beings? Well, when human beings decide to wake up and start changing these things, but a lot of them aren't going to because they're like children and they're learning. Jesus was everything. He was a healer, medium, empath. They tried trying to say that he wasn't, but in, wait, was it Matthew 18? No, Matthew. Crap, I don't know it's Matthew 18. There's a 23. Matthew 18? Matthew 13? Hold on. Hold on. I'm finding it. Okay, that's not it. And I usually know this by heart. This verse. The chapter it's in.
And you don't know.
No. What the hell? I'm losing a lot of memory from that second car accident. Because I used to verbatim. It was Matthew. Oh,
You're
man.
definitely losing a lot of memory.
Yeah, I am. Because it was verbatim. I knew that chapter. But anyway, in that chapter, Jesus goes on the mount to do meditation and prayer. He takes 3 of his disciples with him. I wasn't there. It was something special he was meant to do. And he called forth 2 beings, Isaac and Moses. Or Elijah and Moses, sorry. And he corresponded with them, which they've all both had been dead 1,500 years beforehand. So he was calling forth spirit, which makes him a medium. You can't say mediumship is bad and then all of a sudden put that in the Bible and then not back it up. Okay, you can't pick and choose what you want. So yes, Jesus was a medium. He was an empath. So yeah. Oh, I'm hungry. So if you're trying to learn about the A word, I actually did a blog on it. If you go to the divinemedium.com and then go to vlog on the top tabs, and you can find that blog there. You can read that. I wish I were, Yvonne, you don't remember it, do you?
No. No, I do not.
Matthew 17.
Now you know it. But it just hit you.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It just came to me.
See?
After 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them. Oh, I hate when they do this. The whole like, thou bringeth, brothereth, taketh.
Speak it in your own terms.
Can you please speak English? And was transfigured before them, meaning he was channeling before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. So he was transforming before them through channeling, which means he was becoming a higher self being so he could communicate. Now, a lot of people see this when I channel. My face changes, right, Yvonne? My eyes change.
Oh, everything changes.
My eye color changes, my facial features
It's
change.
like your bone structure changes.
Everything changes. So this is basically what they're saying. He changed before them. And behold, there appeared upon them Moses and Elijah talking with him. Yeah. And that's it. You can't, and Elijah and Moses had died between 500 to 1500 years before Jesus. That's a medium, people. That's a spiritual communicator. And then I get the backlash from people that says, well, he's God, he can do whatever he wants. Okay, if that's the case, he blatantly said, go out and do as I did. So if that gift is upon him, it can be upon anyone that gifts it upon themselves through their soul contract. So okay, so there's that. That version is, I don't know, it's called The Red Letter. It's a very old book that Christina's father gave to her, and I still have it, so I keep all that stuff. Dee says I burp a lot when Mary Magdalene comes through. Yeah, they say she gets embarrassed. What are you doing over there? Why you, I'm gonna throw this at you. You're not getting involved, Missy. Are you playing your little Scrabbles thing?
No,
What are you doing?
Just looking up something.
What are you looking up? What are you looking up? Whisper it to me. Is it Wait, is it him? Oh, you're watching him?
No, I can't.
Oh, well, wait, is it him doing a video on it, though? Yeah. Oh, is it?
I'm gonna leave it right there because I don't have to search for it.
That's fine. I told you.
Okay.
I know. Well,
I will.
maybe someday you'll be able to talk to him.
Once again, I'll watch this. This will be good for now. Okay, I'm done. I found it. I'm good now.
Ugh. I'm itchy.
I've been itchy. Like, my whole
I know, and my stomach's growling. I'm sitting here trying to think, what can I eat?
Well, technically, you can start your diet, so you can unpull a syrup.
Yeah. Can you hear my stomach? I can hear my stomach. If I can hear my stomach, it's bad. Okay. No, I don't go to church. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. And there is no religion in heaven. That was man-made down here to kind of segregate and separate people. When religion was, like I said on the radio show, it was a gathering of like-minded people that wanted to talk about Jesus' love and God's love, and religion took it to a whole new level that shouldn't have been. But I did that on the radio show. I talked about all that stuff. Did we talk about it on the radio show or after? I think it might have been after.
What was it about?
No, I did mention it on the radio show. About religion and...
Yeah, you did.
I did talk about it? Okay, so you can go back on the video and watch the beginning of that. So, Jamie, I do Reiki 1 still, but we want to advance it to like a whole other thing. But yeah, it's still available. Misty, go ahead with your question. Lights keep blinking. Oh yeah, Heidi, yeah. As soon as the live feed ends, you can go back and listen to the whole thing over again. Yeah, I wish I could eat that stuff. I can't anymore, Rebecca. Jamie, I believe everybody has a healing mechanism in them. And basically Reiki is just kind of teaching you what mothers already do. When your kid gets hurt, let's say they scrape their knee, what's the first thing you want to do? is do this. It's already instilled in you like an animal instinct. Oh, cheesy garlic bread.
Nope, no more.
Damn you, Yvonne.
That's a no-no. Nope.
Man, I could go for some tea. As I'm drinking it.
I was gonna say, why don't you just drink?
It's cold.
She forgot.
It's cold and there's like, I keep sipping it because there's only like this much left, so I'm just like savoring it.
Sip by sip.
Yeah, Heidi, that class is supposed to come forth pretty soon here. It's just, I have so much on my plate right now. I need to figure out what's going on with these shows first, these TV shows, and then I'll go from there. Once I can solidify, are we doing it? If we are, which one? What time? When's this? Like,
They've taken precedent.
Yeah, they've kind of taken over my life right now. I've even had to put my book on the back burner because it was too controversial for the show. So I have to hold off on that too now. So. Oh, I have been on occasion. They don't want me to publish it till after.
Well, of course not.
Yeah, because it will. It's not going to be good for humanity. They're just going to look at it and go, what the hell? And I'm going to be like, listen, this is the Bible how it was supposed to be.
Here it is.
There
Take
you
it or
go.
leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Doing what people
Trina, that's more of like a astrological question, and I'm not astrological, and no, that wouldn't be their last incarnation. Souls keep reincarnating as much as they can to keep on learning. Now, there's some souls that kind of just want to relax and not want to learn. You have non-karmatic souls that never leave God, never leave heaven. They don't reincarnate at all. So, Shannon, it is because it's supposed to get the message out. I just, humanity is very hard right now. I mean, I don't even remember having this much problem back in the time I had with Jesus. It just wasn't this hard. And through the centuries, like when I showed up here, I just was like, wow, this is gonna be hard, because they are all doing drugs and strung out, and religion has really took a hold on humanity, and I kept thinking these messages are going to be so hard to get out.
Brainwashed today.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much in this like brainwashed motion of chaos. They don't know if they're coming or going.
Nope.
But
there's more influences out there.
yeah.
There's more ways of influencing people than there was back then.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, that's true. They didn't have media outlets, and
Nope.
a lot of people were just getting misguided,
There was no media
miscommunications going
outlets.
on.
There was nothing but word of mouth.
And the word of mouth was what led. I mean, we had to put Jesus on a boat out in the ocean or lake, so they couldn't get to him because there was thousands of them coming to listen to him talk, and he had a low voice as it was. So
You figure people only lived in towns.
Yeah, he wasn't one to yell. He didn't really yell. He had this calming way of speaking. And to put him out on a boat far away from them, it was really hard to hear. So, I mean, they kept pushing out to the shore. But as long as they couldn't get to him, we were good. So, and that's what I'm finding now in my shop is, because my office is getting worked on, I am in the front of the shop, and now people think it's like full access. They can ask me anything they want. And I'm like, no, shut it down. You can't just, I could be right in the middle of doing something and they'll just start asking me questions. I'm like, no, this isn't how this works.
It's funny.
This is not how this
You'll
works.
be sitting there working, which that's all you do in your
It's
shop.
all I'm doing is
on
working.
Your computer, your head's down, and they'll walk in and
they don't care.
They don't care if your head's down. They just start talking to you.
They don't care what I'm doing. I have to ask you a question. And then they start rambling on these stories, and I'm just like, and I'm sitting there going, wait, what's happening now? Like, No, shut it down. You got to set up something. I got to be able to sit with you. Like, this isn't, I think a lot of people think this is like a light switch. When no, I'm not that kind of person. If somebody's just ram-bamming, doing like this, it's not a good thing. Because, like, I have to be able to sit and listen. I'm not rambling off answers because that's not how you communicate for spirit. You got to sit and listen. You can't just ramble off your own answers you just think are the answers. Like, I have to listen, and it takes a while. Like, it might take 5, maybe 8 minutes. It just depends on the person. I mean, I might sit there for 3 minutes. Like, I can't just start, and with every person that comes in and they're asking me questions, eventually I'm getting drained, and then I can't do my work that I had planned. Like, it's time management. I'm in there, I have to get this done. I have like a whole list of stuff, crap I have to do. And then they're asking me a question, and then you got somebody else coming in, and they're asking me a question, and I'm like, I have got to get out of this flippin' front room because I'm not getting anything done that I need to. And then